Welcome to the 25th episode of Roadkill, where we brought all of our junk that still runs, and a junk Datsun and the dog. And we're gonna find out if the dog can outrun the guys from Motor Trend in our garbage.
This is our zip tie and duct tape special.
We put together 9 cars that we're going to shoot out in this episode, but people ask us all of the time what happened to many of the cars that showed up on Roadkill that they've never seen again. Looking back, we've got that 73 Catalina from episode 1. I sold that thing to a couple back in Ohio, and they're still driving it. In the Cheap Truck Challenge, the Bronco, we unloaded that thing for like $500 when we were done. The Lamborghini, that went back to its rental agency, and the Rat Rod is still being used as a promotional tool by Sailor Jerry. When we did the thrash battle with the van and the wagon, yeah, when we were done, both of those things went to the junkyard. But the 55 Chevy that we put on the gasser chassis, that is still in our shop, and it will come back. I promise you will see that Hemi-powered 55. Down in Australia, Gup loaned us that 727 cubic inch Holden. He brought it to the United States and ran Hot Rod Power Tour with it, and now it's back down under, and he is still doing killer burnouts in that car. The Junkyard Cuda was a funny story because we auctioned it off, and long story short, it ended up back at the junkyard that we bought it from. And it's not getting crushed, but it's still sitting there. Kind of the same story with the cop cars. After we were done thrashing on those, the guy we bought the Crown Vic from bought them both back, fluffed them up, and sold them. The Jeep Rod, you know the fate of that thing. Some guy bought it for like $500, and last we knew he was trying to sell it on Craigslist for $3,500. The Monza is still sitting behind Jeff Lutz's shop, maybe to be seen again someday. The Prius is flat as a pancake, although the tank still lives over at Bulletproof Diesel. Then there's the hugely popular muscle truck that we really wanted to shoot out in this episode, but we've been converting the thing to EFI and just didn't get it running right in time for the show. Our Bonneville car, yeah, we blew the motor up. I haven't worked on it yet, but that car will come back to the Salt Flats. Our custom Mercury went to Jim Norman at Norman Wineries in Paso Robles, California, and he has been working on that thing, painting it, doing some stuff to the engine, just make it into a cool cruiser. And then, of course, there's the Draguar, which everybody's been dying to see. It's sitting around with no engine in it, but we do have a blown Blueprint Engines 383 small block for it. We just came up with a brilliant scheme, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's that good, and we probably won't pull it off. Because we didn't have enough to do trying to get all of these old project cars running and driving after they'd been sitting around forever, we decided to throw another one in the mix. And the one that was right in reach was our 71 Datsun 240Z.
This is pretty easy to push.
This is why this would be great for the autocross. It's light. I love 240s and they are classics, but this one is pretty bad.
Oh, look at this. Check this out. See the rust?
That's metal falling out of the deck lid. I can peel the car apart. Our 71 Datsun 240Z came from the guys at White Flag Racing. This is a $500 rust bucket of a Datsun. It's gonna be fast. It's got a 4.3 liter Chevy V6 out of an S10 pickup that I rebuilt with a set of bullet high compression pistons, a comp cams valve train, a new Holley carb. It makes 295 horsepower and has a 5-speed out of a Junkyard S10. This could be fun, but we've never driven it. It's sat here for a year, and now we're gonna try to make this thing run. It's a race car, see? Push button to start.
Does it have a dead hole?
This is gonna end well. You sure that's gas?
Yeah, or it was at one time anyway. Nice!
Wow.
Okay.
It needs a battery.
Let's start making a list.
Okay.
This is the sleeve that's going over the formerly broken half shaft. You can see it's been welded back together and then sleeved with a piece of tube and welded around it to, in theory, make it bulletproof. Over here, it's welded, but not sleeved. This is the one thing we might have to fix under here.
And it had a bunch of other problems. It didn't have a fuel system on the thing.
So I'm thinking plenty of heavy-duty zip ties hold that pretty well right there.
You wanna zip tie the fuel pump to the rear end of the car.
Well, it's not moving.
We'll let Carlos drive this one.
Doesn't hurt my feelings.
What are you guys doing?
Cutting the axle in half so we can weld it back together with a sleeve on it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
On the car. Technically, this car ran and drove, but the reality was it was going to break as soon as it hit the parking lot. We're gonna drill holes in it first and rosette weld it here and around the ends. It'll be stronger. I mean, is it gonna last? I don't know.
You know, there's zip tying stuff, and then there's craftsmanship. This is just going over that line right now. Flawless.
Good God, man. Call up Nissan. Tell them they're doing it wrong.
It's like factory, right? We planning on driving this there? I just moved it 100 yards and I'm scared of the brakes.
So it's ready for the autocross is what you're saying.
Ah, 232 angry cubic inches. I was driving the Gremlin in here and noticed that the brakes are really bad. This rotor is warped and gacked. That is a big part of the problem right there. So the Gremmy needs a new rotor, which it's not getting right now. So that'll be fun on the autocross. Ah, precision handling. Yeah, I think this thing's a contender. Look at that baby.
The Gremlin is present and as autocross ready as a car with warped brakes can get. The El Camino is present, and we haven't driven the ramp truck since last summer, and we cannot find the keys. I'm gonna go to the ramp truck because I vaguely remember a hide a key being not so well hidden under the front bumper. Maybe that'll save us. Bingo. Nice. Aha, door open. There we go. Woo! Two things are telling me that this show is a good idea. One, I found the spare key to the ramp truck and it fired right up. And two, if this was really a bad idea, somebody would have already come back in time to stop us from doing this. We got a pretty good indication of how well the Datsun was put together. I hit the brake pedal and the parking lights lit up. Oh, the brakes are really bad. Brakes are really, really bad. All right, well, we have 2 gears.
Okay, I take it back. It sounds like a UPS truck. So the Datsun wasn't registered or insured, so we were gonna put it on the back of our ramp truck and haul it out there. We were gonna do that tonight, but unfortunately, the radiator leaks like a sieve. We gotta deal with that or it's not even gonna survive the autocross deal. And so we're beat for tonight. We're gonna clean up, wrap it up. We're gonna meet here in the morning, wrench a little bit more, and then start hauling 9 cars 40 miles away for an idea that's getting worse and worse as time goes by. Look what I got. Freshie. That says champion on it. Yeah, that's what we're gonna be with this car.
Next day, first thing in the morning, we installed a brand new radiator in the Datsun that was clearly worth more than the entire rest of the car.
Wow.
And we also needed to dig out the Ranchero.
I sense the fear in the Motor Trend staff's eyes as we drive by. Oh yeah, show them the power.
The dog has proven that both you and I are expendable as far as the audience is concerned. We don't even have to be here.
She's the brains in the operation.
It's too bad that dog's so lazy. Doesn't appreciate what it's got.
And on the way there, Finnegan decided to surprise me with the news that we weren't going to have just one dog on this deal, but 2.
So they were doing maintenance on the apartment, and I had to take the dog to work today.
So you had her groomed?
Normally, Bella doesn't get along with other dogs.
We've had a lot of stuff stored in the Automobile Driving Museum in El Segundo, California for quite a long time. And so we went over there looking for our leftover projects and we didn't even know where they were.
Still says Hot Rod on the building. We found it. Draguar, stock car, and Ranchero.
The original plan was we'd buy that and see how far we could drive it on the street before it got impounded. And then the lawyers got involved and they got spooked. And so there it sits.
And that's genuine Alaska dirt.
Look at that, we didn't even unpack from this trip. The jack stands and wheels are still in here.
Nope. And look what's clean is the registration sticker. So we're good.
Oh, dude, there's dirty Alaska. These are yours.
Yep.
Okay, this car's nasty. This is it. This is what was in this car when we left Alaska. There's Freiburger's dirty clothes.
There you go. Wow.
It's like it's ready to go to Alaska.
Mint! Ah, memories.
Charging system's not quite working, so we're gonna leave the jump box under the hood, tied down with a fan belt, and drive about a mile back to our office.
It's kind of cool that we're finally getting all of these cars running at the same time after neglecting them for something between months and years at a time. But this is a hassle. I think this is only vehicle number 1, 2, 3, 4 that we've gotten running, so we've got another 5 to go.
Hey!
That's probably not good with the office and everything.
Both times we drove the Ranchero long distances, no matter how we twisted the distributor, this thing pinged. So, with David under the bottom of the car, cranking the engine over slowly, I slid a piece of welding rod through the spark plug hole of the #1 cylinder, and we figured out where top dead center was.
That's probably about half the dwelling right there.
So when we set the ignition timing to 30 degrees advance max, that was actually 60 degrees. Thus the reason this ran like poop for 2 years. We remarked the balancer, we're about to fire it up, and I really think the amount of effort we just put into this balances out the number of zip ties we put on the Datsun.
Mint! I can't hear you!
You gotta put on your Tom Cruise Maverick face when you do that. Like all the other cars, at the last second I remembered this had a big problem with the brakes, and it was that I let a coworker drive it. He'll remain nameless.
Politically correct.
Brandon. And Brandon wears like size 14 combat boots to work every day. And he must have panic stopped when I loaned it to him and put his foot through the floor of the car because he actually bent the rod going into the booster. We're taking it apart and cutting the bent part off and hoping there's enough thread left there to put the adjuster on. And yeah, last minute roadkill. This is more roadkill hackery. We cut the bent part off the push rod for the booster, which now made it too short, so our clevis, which connects to the brake pedal, is too far away from it. There's no adjustment there. So I'm gonna extend it just that much. I'm gonna weld a nut to the clevis using a bolt that is the same thread as the push rod to align everything. And then that fixes everything. That gets us on the road. Fixed! Woohoo! Let's go.
It is 8:30 at night. All of our vehicles are still scattered to the wind. We have about 5 of them here. We're going to try and get 4 of them out to the track tonight by calling in reinforcements from the staff of Hot Rod in order to load up the Datsun onto the ramp truck. We're going to shuffle a bunch of this junk out there, leave it there overnight, meet at my house in the morning, drag some more crap over there, and so on and so forth until we finally have a show.
This morning we brought the El Camino and the Super Bee to the racetrack, and now we're at Freiburger's place picking up the Charger and the Crusher Camaro and the Macho Grande. I think after that we can actually start racing. This is the inside of just one of Freiburger's garages, and when I first met him, we came in here and actually cleaned and organized this entire place. Like, this was empty. You could walk in here, and now there's no less than 8 motors sitting in here. This man is a speed parts warehouse.
Here we have a perfectly good running driving car, and we can't drive it out to Santa Anita because I can't get it registered. This thing hasn't been on the books since 1983, and when I took it to the DMV to get the VIN verified, the woman came out and looked at it and freaked. She literally, because it didn't have glass in the interior and because it looked rough, wigged out and would not sign the paperwork. 10 o'clock now. The Motor Trend guys are already over at Santa Anita, and I'm picking up this junk that has a dead battery, and you'll notice this is drag strip fresh, and we still have not put the air cleaners back in it, which is a pain in the neck.
And you might see this green pile sitting here and wondering, why isn't that going with us? Well, the F-Bomb's not a roadkill car. Yet. It's waiting its turn. The battery on this thing has been stone dead for 6 months. So I take my jump starter that we just used on the Crusher and drive around with it under the hood. It's perfect.
We've got the last car ready. We're really late. We're headed back to Santa Anita, which means right about now, Johnny Lieberman is standing in an empty parking lot.
How about Carlos?
I don't think Carlos was coming till later, but from what I understand, Johnny's on time, if not early.
We gave them both the same call time. That just reveals Carlos watches the show and shows up at noon when we say 10:30. Johnny, not a fan.
We weren't going to shoot these things out by ourselves. We brought out the experts, Carlos Lago and Johnny Lieberman, both staff editors on Motor Trend, both guys who you've seen on the Motor Trend channel YouTube doing all sorts of professional driving in cars way better than this.
I'm near Modena, Italy, driving Horacio Pagani's personal Zonda S Roadster.
And so we were going to meet them there at the racetrack, but of course, we were late. I let Finnegan make that phone call.
Hey, Finnegan?
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
How do you like the autocross course?
So Freiburger sent an email last night, like, be here by 10. And so I've been here for an hour and a half. And where are you?
We're late, you know.
Oh.
We're right on time for us.
I know you want to be really helpful with this deal.
There's about 70 or 80 cones there that need to be set up into an autocross course. If you could just make that happen.
Just make an autocross course?
Tell him he's got the expertise that we lack.
Yeah, because we know you guys are big on testing at Motor Trend, and you know the best way to configure those cones given the cars that you have in front of you.
All right. Bye. I don't know why I believed anything he said. Like, 10 a.m. for these idiots. It's noon for other people.
Oh, there goes the neighbor's car alarm.
They're like suburban terrorists, you know? Like, do you own a house in the suburbs? You see these two coming?
I'm kind of scared,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that a driver's seat?
I wanted to be safe. I've seen the show. I know how it goes down, so I brought a couple things to prepare.
Wow.
Is that rubbing alcohol?
That's hydrogen peroxide. Rubbing alcohol is flammable. I brought this because I'm sure, actually, this would be
we need.
This would be a present to you
Yeah.
guys.
He's going to prove useful with that.
I also brought some condoms just because, hey, you never know.
Wishful thinking condoms, too. Check those out.
I learned to always be prepared.
2 questions. One, is your wife's El Camino one of the cars?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And is the ramp truck racing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Everything
awesome.
here.
Can I drive the ramp? I want to drive the ramp truck.
As it turns out, I gave Lieberman way too much credit for actually working setting up the racetrack, because there was some chalk marks on the ground from a car club that had been racing an autocross there just like a weekend earlier. And so we ended up using that track, and it was perfect. Carlos and Johnny brought out a Kia Rio 5, which I'd never heard of. Apparently, it's a really high-end rental car. And they were going to do some lap times with that thing to set sort of a baseline with which to judge the Roadkill cars. And then we were going to run through each car in the Roadkill fleet, and we were all going to drive them.
I'm extremely happy we're finally going to get a Kia into an episode of Roadkill. 2, 1, go.
So first on track in the Kia was Carlos Lago. He was the guy to beat today. We've seen his videos. Guy knows how to drive. We've watched him drift some stuff that we don't even know how to pronounce.
Here are those all-season tires working as hard as they possibly can.
And so he got in the car and laid down a baseline of a 101.68. And Johnny backed that up with a 104.11.
I mean, you're in this because I asked Finnegan, and I'm like, what would piss off Freiburger the most? And he's like, probably a Korean car. So
we brought one.
I beat Johnny with a 101.91. But then Finnegan saved the day, bringing the glory back to Roadkill.
He's got a lot of dust.
Well, it does that when you drive on the chalk.
Beating Carlos with a 101.46.
Yeah!
Next up, ramp truck.
So far, a pretty good day at work.
This is our 1973 Chevy 1-ton ramp truck, the genius vehicle that you can load a car onto the back of eliminating the need for a trailer so you can haul stuff anywhere. It is powered by a 454 and a turbo 400 and probably 456s in the 14-bolt rear end. And let me tell you, this thing is a precision handling machine. We picked up the ramp truck at the very end of episode 19, and it was one of the best deals we have ever had. $3,500 for this thing, and the air conditioning works. So does the cruise control. We've said it before, this thing is way too good for us, so we were going to try hard to wreck it today.
So I saw something dangling down underneath.
Oh, just fuel line.
That's the fuel line. Okay, yeah. Good.
Yeah, race it.
Good luck.
3, 2, 1.
Go, baby, go. Oh, God.
Oh, I got a water bottle under my foot. That might be an issue.
Looks great though. It's
Yeah, it sounds
majestic. Oh, this could be bad.
Oh, camera truck, look out.
Look how far he was past the. Look at where he stopped.
That's better and more fun than any Ferrari.
Okay, 114.3.
114.30.
I want to drive it.
You know, the ramp truck wasn't nearly as bad as I expected. I thought it was just gonna wallow and be a complete disaster. And don't get me wrong, the thing understeers and does not stop, but you can actually throw it around. I thought it was pretty good. But the best part of the entire run was trying to get stopped in the stop box.
Oh, late break, late break. He's gonna kill David, he did that on purpose.
In the ramp truck, the Motor Trend guys were really close. Carlos put down the slowest time with a 1:18.85, and Johnny outran him barely with a 1:18.81. My driving skill in the ramp truck proved itself with a 1:14.10.
This is the 73 GMC Suburban Sierra Grande, better known as the Macho Grande.
We picked up this car and used it to drag Finnegan's 55 Chevy from Los Angeles all the way up to Oregon and back, but I didn't know how fast it was going to be because the 454 is worn out.
This truck has 350,000 miles on it.
I think it's going to be slower than the ramp truck.
If you drive as if there is no trailer back there, it should be really close to that.
We figured it just wouldn't make sense if we didn't do the autocross with the trailer attached.
There's no pin in here. The coupler has no pin.
Yeah, what's Spanish for bad idea?
3, 2, 1, go.
Yes! I didn't kill the trailer.
I gotta be honest, I did not want to beat up my 350,000 mile daily driver, and so only Finnegan and I ran it.
That looked pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
He ran a 1:15.30, and I beat him with trucker arm out the window at a 1:08.55. So far, the Kia is still in the lead, having outrun both the ramp truck and the Macho Grande, and so we brought out the big guns. Our Gremlin is a 1975 model, and everyone, yes, we know, it has a 1976 grille in it. It also has a completely worn out 232 straight six and the Torque Command automatic transmission and a suspension that is essentially destroyed. But it does have new tires.
Now we're going to Gremmy, and the argument is, will the Gremlin be slower or faster than the Macho Grande with the trailer on the back of it? And will it outrun the Kia?
It looks like the Gremlin got punched in the face. It's kind of got a black eye going on.
I've never actually been around a Gremlin and not had a joint, so this will be different.
Oh, okay.
But the exhaust leak might, you know.
Go for it.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ah, yeah, nice leisurely drive in the Grem.
It's not looking quick.
It's funny, you gotta get on it way early because of the delay in throttle response. Now, warped brake discs.
Yeah, you want more bands because what it does, it disperses the energy across the width of the area.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah!
Aggressive.
Yeah! What happened?
It should be that it handles like a refrigerator full of bowling balls, but this is the next level worse than that. The Gremlin handles like a nun carrying a mattress.
We're making a new course here. Just keep moving cones.
Oh!
Solid third place.
Once I got behind the wheel of the Gremlin, I remembered how bitter I was about the fact that it tried to kill me in the middle of the desert when we were flat towing the Prius. So, when it came time, I made sure to turn the front tires into stop signs.
I think the car that the Motor Trend guys were most excited to drive was the Gremlin. It's a really bad, and it's gutless, and it bogs, it sometimes dies, and the brakes lock up. That said, that's a great little car. Next up was our Ranchero, the 68 Ford Ranchero that we built up to look like the car that Hot Rod used to win the very first Mexican 1000 off-road race. And it has manual steering that is slower than slow. This thing was the car that we hauled all the way to Alaska for the ice races, and it was a riot to wheel around the autocross. The thing about all these roadkill cars is watching them go around these corners is really like a ballet. It's really just a work of art. And to supplement that, we took our box of shop towels and left them in the back of the Ranchero so that it could wave its victory flag as it drove by.
Don't waste the tires.
What'd I do?
With style.
Go!
Forgot about the manual steering.
We were all so busy laughing our asses off in the Ranchero, it's a miracle that we even got it all the way around the track. But we did, and the finishing order is starting to look pretty familiar. Next up, naturally, the 68 Charger we call the General Mayhem.
It sounds epic. But you put it on pavement with a little bit of traction, and suddenly
The single worst handling car we had here.
We cobbled this thing together out of a bare hulk using used RV parts. It has a 440 out of a full-on Pace Aero motorhome.
Is it faster than a Kia? Because nothing's
No.
so far faster than a Kia Rio 5. It just sounds like metal flexing.
I like that.
Look at all the just coming out of that car.
handles really badly.
This car is bad. So bad. I think each of us only wanted to make one lap in the thing, and that's what Finnegan and I did. It handles so horrible with no sway bars on it and worn out front suspension. That thing needs some help before we ever drive it again. But we're gonna. I promise, it's coming. At this point, as much as we tried to make fun of the Motor Trend guys, they were still owning us because their Kia was still quicker than every single car that we had brought out here. And the next one up was Finnegan's wife's El Camino.
The El Camino is your typical hot rod muscle car. It doesn't have a lot of money in it, but where it does, it counts. It's got killer Falcon Azenas tires, it's got some Beltex suspension with big sway bars on it, and I had a feeling it could win on the autocross.
But is it faster than a Kia Rio?
This is the car that we did the engine swap up in the parking lot of Summit Racing in Nevada. It's got the original Turbo 350 automatic in it. It's got the regular old 308 open rear end, but I think there's a chance this thing's gonna run hard.
Frankly, my wife had no idea we were racing it that day, but I had a feeling this thing could be the quickest car around the autocross, and I was out to prove that.
3, 2, 1, go! That looks really good, actually.
I'm thinking Kia's pretty scared right now.
That was a really bad, funny noise.
What happened?
Remember our trick? Welded together nut, brake job?
Oh,
Broke in half when I came through here. How quick was it though?
It was faster than a Kia. You beat
faster than the Kia!
Yeah!
Win! So much win! Yes!
This is very telling, and this is maybe the difference between Hot Rod and Motor Trend. The first car to go faster than a Kia cannot go anymore.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing, and I know I shouldn't have slammed the thing in park, but at the time, it didn't occur to me to shut the engine off, and I couldn't stop.
This car is 2 seconds faster than a Kia Rio.
Is that good or bad?
And finally, we brought the violence, pulling up the Crusher Camaro. You've seen this car a lot lately, and you know that we just stuffed it with 700 horsepower worth of Mast Motorsports LS7.
3, 2, 1.
I was the first at the wheel in the Crusher, and I was just throttling this thing. Anything below like 80 miles an hour, and this thing is gonna blaze rubber.
I really thought the Crusher Camaro could have destroyed all on the autocross course if it had a good set of summer tires on it. We were still rocking the snowshoes from when we drove home from Indy.
Oh, 2, 1, go!
Impressively, Carlos Lago from Motor Trend took the win in the Crusher with a 1:00:55. And of course, it beat the Kia. That's good, because can you imagine the humiliation if a Kia had outrun the Crusher Camaro? Finally, at the end of the day, we looked around and we had 2 cars left, the Super Bee and the Datsun. The Super Bee wasn't running quite right, so we dragged out the Datsun, and then somebody let it sit with the key on forever, and it killed a fuel pump.
Stupid roadkill.
And with that, we were done for the day.
Well, what did we learn?
Absolutely nothing. We had a lot of fun beating on junk for no reason. Tomorrow we still need to beat on the Datsun and the Super Bee.
And if I could be serious for a moment,
No.
Carlos called it the Crusher Corolla, but I gotta say, like, we drive a lot of cars. I'll speak for myself. That's one of the coolest cars I've ever driven.
Oh,
That
cool.
is a hell of a
Thanks.
car.
That is amazing. I love that car.
Thanks. It's entertaining. Does good burnouts. So you're back tomorrow. You're not.
Yes.
Can't make it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was cool.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
For sure. For sure.
All right. Clean up. The plan for today is to wrap up our autocross testing with the cars that haven't run yet. Got to do the Datsun because that's really the whole premise of this whole show is making the Datsun run. And we got to run the Super Bee, which is going to be perhaps the single worst vehicle out here.
This is my own 1970 Dodge Super Bee that you've seen in a bunch of issues of Hot Rod Magazine, and it's been on the Motor Trend channel a bunch too. It's got a 484 cubic inch Dick Landy Hemi. It makes about 600 horsepower. It was in the episode of Roadkill where we drove it and the Crusher Camaro up to Salt Lake City together.
3, 2, 1,
The front tires are so skinny, and the car is so heavy, and the brakes are so mediocre.
Oh, steering is so heavy in this thing, and it's wallowing so bad. Oh, and the brakes do not work. Oh, and the front tires are just folding under.
I was sort of wimpy and cut a 1:15:56.
Well, I can't now stop it.
It's gotta be dead last.
It wasn't Finnegan's car, so he drove the thing like a man and ran a 1:09:76.
This is the most butchered roadkill car ever, and I think you know the level of that statement.
When we finally got the Datsun running under its own power, I was so fired up, I hopped in it and tried to make a lap, and that didn't go so well. I think I spun it out twice. It came out of gear almost every time I tried to put it in second. The thing was a disaster.
No, he doesn't have it. $102.25. I risked my life for nothing. Oh, no big deal. The battery just fell out.
Oh, good. In the last turn of the only lap this thing completed, the battery fell over and welded itself to the header.
That's not safe. You know it's a good sign when the hood of a car is open and there's 4 guys standing around it. Turns out the problem with the Datsun is everything.
So at this point it's drizzling and the pavement is wet at the paved acres of destruction. And the destruction was going to be big because we lined up 9 cars side by side by side to do a short little drag race. It probably was about 330 feet.
Everyone set.
3, 2, 1, go.
The results of drag race number 1, Super B in first, El Camino in second, Ranchero in third, Charger next, Macho Grande behind that, then the Ram truck. The Gremlin was essentially dead last in the cars that actually moved because the Crusher spun out and the Datsun never left the starting line. So for our final drag race, we turned the course around. That gave us less stopping distance, but at least we had a launch pad with 0 dirt on it.
Let's do this. 3, 2, 1, go.
Once I wasn't driving through dirt, the Crusher actually came in second place to the Super B. I didn't spin out this time. And then it was the Ranchero in third, then the El Camino, the Charger, the Macho Grande, the Ramp truck, and once again bringing up the rear, the Gremlin.
So finally, in the 2 drag races, the Super B redeemed itself because out on the autocross, it was slower than the Macho Grande hauling a trailer. But on the drag race, it was good because I was able to get the thing hooked up and absolutely tromp the Crusher Camaro both times. So in the end, we didn't prove a whole lot here, but we had a bunch of fun. And yeah, Finnegan and I aren't really handling car guys, but we will say we managed to outrun the Motor Trend guys in every one of our pieces of junk. And we were able to trample their Kia. The El Camino and the Crusher Camaro were able to go faster around an autocross than a Kia Rio 5. And I'm standing on that statement proudly because we've got another 7 cars that did not outrun that junk. It proved that the Ranchero, as bad as it was the most fun car to drive on this deal, and I can't even tell you why. It had decent power. I went all the way around in first gear and just shrieked the thing up to like 6,500 RPM. For me, the biggest disappointment was the Charger. It just didn't handle well at all, but it motivated me to fix the thing, and we've got a good plan on what we're going to be doing with this car in the future. So this is only our 25th episode. We hope there's plenty more to come, and we guarantee you you're going to see some of this stuff again, and a whole lot more of Roadkill.
Ah! No! Sewage breath! You smell like the Santa Monica Bay! Get lost! I got tongued again! Okay, meanwhile, did you see the, Wow! On this episode of Roadkill, it is all about wrecking Corvettes.
That's not gonna buff out.
In February of 2014, a giant sinkhole opened up underneath the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And it swallowed 8 Corvettes. They're worth like jillions of dollars each, and that is the most roadkill thing that ever happened to a bunch of museum Corvettes. So we figured we needed to check it out. We flew into Florida and tried to pick up the junkiest Corvette that we could so that we could road trip it all the way to Kentucky and check out that sinkhole and have a look at the Corvette assembly line while we were there.
My mission was to find Freiburger and I transportation from Florida to Kentucky. So of course, I went right to Craigslist and looked for the very worst Corvette I could find.
Hey.
Jamie Hannon owned a 75 Corvette that he had bought 6 years ago, found a bunch of rust, and then gave up on this restoration project. And he figured this is the perfect car for Roadkill. It's got paint on it.
Dude, this thing is nice.
I'd never seen this car before we got there, and I'm thinking, man, this doesn't look that bad. But then we pulled the plastic off, and yeah, this thing was definitely Roadkill. The interior was completely gone, and what was there either came out of a Jeep or was completely rusted into the ground.
So what's actually the dilemma here? Does it run?
Well, there's no windshield, so...
There's one window in the state of Florida. We've called everywhere. It's in Orlando.
It's that hard to find a Corvette windshield? Wow. Oh, this is cheating. We can leave now.
Oh, this is the nicest car with no windshield I've ever driven. So we're checking out the Corvette, and in walks Don Schumacher. The Don. Hi.
How you doing?
Holy crap, that's Don Schumacher.
If you don't know who Don Schumacher is, that means you're probably not an NHRA fan, because this guy's been around since the mid-60s, racing stuff like the Stardust funny cars, and today he is the single biggest owner in top fuel teams in the National Hot Rod Association. This guy Jamie is one of Schumacher's best friends. They go fishing together all the time. He mentions that he's going to the Las Vegas NHRA race the next weekend.
I'm heading to Vegas on Thursday.
And he invites us to just come by the pits and hang out, park our car in the pits and everything.
We can make this thing go to Vegas. Screw the Corvette Museum. Let's go.
We qualify Friday and Saturday, and eliminations are on Sunday. You're welcome into the racetrack. Just send me a text, and I'll arrange for tickets and hospitality and some good meals.
We're either going to the Corvette Museum in Kentucky or maybe drag racing in Las Vegas, because Don Schumacher just showed up here.
On the floor.
Yeah. All right, so we need to get some calipers.
Wow, that's real bad.
Oh, spinning tires.
Did you see the steering wheel like it's doing this?
Oh yeah, a telescope.
It telescopes, and when you take off, it comes back towards you.
As soon as we got on the street, I rolled a stop sign because the brakes on the Corvette were absolute garbage, and immediately I get pulled over for the second time on Roadkill.
Hey, officer.
You know, there's a stop sign back there. You got to stop at those, okay?
This time the cop was pretty cool though, and he let us go. He just said, get this junk off the street and pull it right back from where you found it and never have it be on a public road again. Yeah, little did he know.
Before we can go anywhere, the Corvette does need a little bit of work. It hasn't been on the road in about 6 years, and it seems like it runs and drives pretty good. We did a test drive out there. The problem is the brakes are really, really bad. Look at all that brake fluid all over the rotor. This is the great thing about Roadkills. People ask, what is the show really about? What do you do? We don't know. We show up to do one thing, and all of a sudden the plan changes. In this case, completely unexpectedly, Don Schumacher shows up, and we decide to go to Las Vegas instead of Bowling Green, Kentucky. We have no idea if we're actually going to pull it off. We need to drive something like 2,600 miles, 36 hours to get to Las Vegas here from Florida, in a Corvette that hasn't run in 6 years, that needs a brake job, that has no interior, in the rain with no windshield.
Check it out, I found the windshield. Oh yeah, it's gonna be perfect. Here's the deal. Our new Corvette doesn't have a windshield, and we can't find one within 3 hours of where we're at. So we're gonna make one out of a piece of acrylic that we got from the hardware store, trace it with a Sharpie, cut it out with a jigsaw, tape it in place, and whatever else is leaking, we're just gonna cover up with garbage bags and tape, because it's raining, it's probably snowing, and we need to get this car on the road.
Custom. Fixed. He's gonna put just a couple of tech screws in the windshield right now to keep it from blowing out of the car while we're driving. We change the oil, bleed the brakes, hit the road, right?
In theory. This is so nice now that after we put the factory trim back over the Gorilla Tape, I may go back here and slice the excess off, you know, just because we're that high end here at Roadkill.
All right, now the big question is, how am I gonna mount our tack? When it comes to zip tie craftsmanship, I'm hard to beat. pretty much the renowned expert. Do you like the tension arrangement here?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's sturdy.
The general consensus here is that we may not make it in 3 days to Vegas, and we needed some good luck. And I spotted this in the rafters here. And how can a bald eagle mounted to, what is that, a trophy? But how can this not be good luck? You could run for president in this car.
All right. Westbound and down.
So after a quick brake job, oil change, no tune-up at all, we left Jamie behind, jumped in his Corvette, and headed for Las Vegas. Vegas, baby, Vegas. I think we're gonna make it.
Tack doesn't work, actually.
Is that on the floor?
Oh, yeah. That's floored.
When we hit the road, we did the quick math and realized we were going to have to drive 12 hours just on this day in order to get to Vegas on time. So we had no time to spare. And that's when the Turbo 400 completely gave up, ruining all hope of getting to Vegas in time.
How come it's our nicest car and it went the shortest distance? Actually, the Charger didn't go very far either, but it was fixable. This isn't fixable.
Fewest amount of zip ties on this one, that's the problem.
Yeah. No, this would be us going on Craigslist to try and find another vehicle.
Or we get a trans.
That's a lot of time.
Even if we find a transmission, by the time we change it, there's no way we're getting to Vegas in time for this race.
We're probably going back to Plan A and heading up to the Corvette Museum, but that's only if we could get this thing fixed.
We're loaded up on the trailer. Jamie, who gave us the car, is hunting up a transmission. We're gonna see if we can get it swapped out tonight.
You ever towed a Corvette with a bald eagle on the back before?
We ended up towing the Corvette back to Jamie's shop, where at least he softened the blow with a few beers, and he also brought in a bunch of friends to help us and a guy who had found a used Turbo 400 transmission somewhere in his stockpile. And so we jammed on it. We got the car up on a lift, did an R&R on the transmission, and by the time we were done, it was like midnight.
The U-joints in this thing are absolutely destroyed. They're all notchy and loose and junky and lost.
We have the new Turbo 400 here, but it looks like somebody crammed a metric nut onto the shaft for the shifter, and so we're trying to cut some new threads onto it.
So we left for Nevada 12 hours ago, blew up the transmission 10 miles down the road. These nice folks found us a used one. We've got our old converter on here, but brand new U-joints. And we're about to get back on the road. For where, I have no idea.
We had a running driving vet, but still no hope of making it to Las Vegas. The next morning, we were stoked again. We were Corvette Museum bound in our perfectly good 75 Corvette.
This car is really not that comfortable.
No. So we stopped for some tourist trap action, and the thing about Florida is that virtually every gas station overloads you with Gator stuff.
So a while ago, we were at an auto parts store, and we see this third-gen Camaro. Amazing car. This flawless paint job, said Twix on the side. Something everyone should have, you know? The best part about that car was that it had a alligator print interior and a real alligator molded into the top of the dashboard. Homeboy's got an alligator on his dash. Look at it. David fell in love with it, and I think he's trying to bite that guy's rhyme because he just bought a gator head and zip-tied it to our dashboard. I think we're setting trends here. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Are we gonna call it the Boogie Nights Corvette or the AARP Corvette?
I was gonna try and find you a big gold chain.
The great thing about Roadkill is I get to get out and see the country and some family members. It just so happened that our route to Kentucky took us right through Georgia, where my brother lives.
Spent 9 hours on the road today, none of them warm. We're outside of Georgia now. We're in like what, Atlanta? We're in Ackworth, Georgia. And a few episodes ago, we met Finnegan's dad in the middle of nowhere when we happened to be in Arkansas. Hey! This time, we're dropping in on his brother and his mom.
I pretty much won't have to get her a Christmas gift after this.
I dressed especially homeless for this.
You totally look homeless. So once again, we surprised my mom, who happened to be visiting my brother in Georgia that night. Right now they're going, Mom, go answer the door. She's going, it's not my house, why am I answering the door? Oh, there she is, she's coming. Hey, Mom.
No freaking way! Oh my gosh!
Hey there.
Hello, sweetie pie. Oh.
We ended up spending the night at his brother's house and having a nice home-cooked meal, which is rare, if not impossible, on Roadkill. And then the next morning fired up our Corvette and totally brought down the property value.
I don't think they want that thing in front of their museum. That would give Corvettes a bad name.
Good seeing you, Dad.
Drive safe.
I went the last time.
Ooh, look at that. Now, I don't know if you realize the true historical significance of this Corvette. See, if you go back to Corvette history, you look at 1953, and that car had an inline six-cylinder engine making 150 horsepower. And 22 years later, they had eclipsed that. This Corvette, with its L48 350 engine, makes 165 horsepower. That's right, this is the lowest powered V8 Corvette ever made. And they're not even pissed off horsepower. They're not even mildly annoyed horsepower. But the good news is the interior is super comfy with these Jeep Wrangler seats and no dash to get in the way. Yeah, this is about as good as a Corvette gets, at least a Roadkill Corvette. So it's Thursday morning now, and we're on our way to Bowling Green, Kentucky, where we're going to go see where they actually make Corvettes, because we need to give them a few tech tips based on our intimate knowledge of this particular model.
Yeah, here's where you screwed up. That part of the car that allows water to go in the car, don't do that anymore.
This is the worst Corvette ever. It has no horsepower, no windows, it's really cold. The only thing keeping us from freezing to death are these blankets, but other than that, things are going pretty well. And I'm feeling pretty good about this trip, right up until the point where we ran out of gas.
We were shocked to discover that the fuel gauge in the Corvette wasn't really accurate. We were able to jag across like 4 lanes of traffic, up and off ramp, barely cresting the top of it, just in time to hit another downhill part where we coasted into a gas station within like 10 feet of the pump. It couldn't have gone better. Once we figured out how to keep gas in the tank, it was pretty much smooth sailing till we finally arrived at the mecca of Corvettes, Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is the site of not only the National Corvette Museum, but also the assembly plant where every single Corvette has come from since 1981. And they even had special parking just for us. Finally made it to Bowling Green, and we're deep inside the heart of the Corvette plant. This is where all the brand new Corvettes come from, right here. There's 7 miles of conveyor belts that go around inside this building that's 1 million square feet. It's 14 acres.
I was just at Disneyland like a week ago with my kid, and it looks a lot like this, except this is brighter and moving a lot slower, but somehow this is more fun than Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
This is where the frame is actually built from the ground up. The frame is actually aluminum now as opposed to steel. That makes it 99 pounds lighter and about 57% stiffer.
This is where they all come together. The engines being installed up from the bottom, or actually the body's being dropped onto the chassis from above. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, there, check it out.
The headers are on it already?
They obviously don't know how to do this right because there isn't ATF all over the floor. I don't see anybody looking for tools.
I hate to say this, but it really makes us look like amateurs.
It kind of does. So many people here are recognizing us, people who work on the assembly line. I think we're going to be responsible for ruining a couple new Corvettes because people are stopping working to wave at us.
Dude, y'all the real deal.
Oh, thanks.
Roadkill is awesome. I can't begin to tell you.
Thank you.
My boys are gonna freak.
Cool.
Hey, thanks.
Very nice. Thanks a lot.
Wow, you paid him to do that, didn't you? Look at that. Nobody's driving that.
That's crazy.
It's called our AGC robot. It's the automated guided cart. That's special vision technology. So if you were to actually be standing in front of it, it would patiently wait for you to move before it moved on.
After the tour, we finally reached the very end, the place where these Corvettes spring to life for the very first time and move under their own power. And the very first thing they do after like 10 feet is run over these gnarly stutter bumps that settle the suspension for them.
I'm not really a Corvette guy. You know, they're expensive. I really can't afford one. But I gotta admit, I walked out of this place wanting one.
Finally, we arrived at our ultimate destination, ground zero for Corvette destruction.
These are the ones they pulled out.
So this thing fell into Middle Earth. It's really not that trashed.
Looks like most of the stuff in my driveway.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. So Hill and Karen Clark donated their car to the museum, and this is how it gets treated?
Yep.
Not leaving my car parked here. That one I just put right back in the hole. How do we get to the hole, miss?
You're heading that way.
Keep on going. Hole's that
Don't
one?
go in it.
Oh, we're going deep.
There's a glass wall.
That's why we got these.
We knew the odds were pretty low that the guys at the Corvette Museum would allow us to actually ghost ride our Stingray into the hole. But we thought we'd try anyway. I mean, hell, we drove all the way from Florida. How could they tell us no? We have a car we'd like to donate to the museum.
You do?
But we want to put it directly in the hole. So it can no longer hurt any of mankind.
Okay. Well, what kind of car is it?
75 Corvette.
A 75. I thought we could say Mustang.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, we want to make a time capsule. We want to make a donation.
No offense. Nobody wants this Corvette. I would actually like to ghost ride the Corvette into the hole.
Yeah.
Rick the gas pedal, let it go. Where she lays, she lays.
Think of the live video feed.
Yes, that would be something I would like to see. That would be fun.
All right, sweet hole, Bob. Thanks for showing us.
You're very welcome.
I don't think Bob's going to let me put my Stingray in his sinkhole. After a week-long immersion into the Corvette world and seeing the sinkhole that swallowed 8 vets, we get it now. Chevy runs deep.
So in the end, it turns out we kind of offended these guys with the suggestion that our 75 should go back in the hole and get covered up and paved over, sort of as a memento to the Corvettes that could have been lost. And so here we bring you gratuitous Corvette violence, all 165 horsepower worth.
Yeah, the beauty of this is that we can't open the hood because the cable broke.
Yeah.
So we're fine.
So I finally got the Corvette Stingray out of my system. I'd kind of wanted one for a long time, and now I'd had a road trip in one. If you think about it, this is a roadkill win. We took a car that had not run in 6 years, fixed it, overcame adversity, went to the Corvette assembly plant, saw the sinkhole, and unfortunately did not get to leave our Corvette behind.
As usual, time was short and we had to jump on an airplane home. So we called up our buddies at Holly and said, hey man, you can have the keys to our Corvette.
are we always bailing these guys out? Divas.
Here's the choices. You take it right back to that building over there and park it. Okay, 'cause it's not legit to be on the street.
Okay.
All right. If I see it again, we're gonna have to tow it.
That's my second choice. Go.
Second choice.
Okay, well, right. I'm picking option number 1.
All right.
Thank you very much for the courtesy.
On this episode of Roadkill, we trade a 600 horsepower Chevy truck for a Volkswagen with a busted door.
I think he's enjoying that too much now. The muscle truck is a 1974 Chevy that you first saw in episode 18 of Roadkill. It's powered by an all-aluminum LS6, it has a turbo 400 automatic transmission, a gear vendor's overdrive, and a 4 9-inch rear end with 513 gears. The thing that changed about the muscle truck since the last time you saw it? That's right, EFI. This is MSD Atomic Self-Learning EFI. It's supposed to be a real simple deal, and so far it's running good. We're impressed so far.
Here's the plan. We've already been drag racing with this truck, but Freiburger and I think it could also work off-road. It could be the ultimate dual sport vehicle with just a little bit of modification.
So we know we can take the rear fenders off and put giant rubber on it, but the problem's up at the front end. It's got drop spindles and airbags, and I've aired the bags all the way up, so we're trying to decide if we're either gonna cut the fenders out or remove the whole front clip so we can fit maybe a 33 or something taller.
That's a big tire for the front of this.
Yeah, that hits everything.
You'd have to trim the front of the fender, maybe a little bit of the back of the fender, the top of the fender.
Yeah, to make it steer. It's also all the way down right now.
That helped, but...
It would look rad though.
Yeah.
So the question is, you want to make it work?
Yeah, as I say, does it look good enough to warrant getting out the Sawzall? That's what you gotta ask yourself.
But we have to decide.
Can't believe I'm saying this. I vote that tire on the front and just hack the fender.
I like my fender. Okay, go get them mounted. We got our boggers mounted up, threw them in the back of the truck, and it was time to hit the road. Because you know what? We're not even gonna test fit these things until we hit the sand dunes. Wow, this thing's loud.
How bad are the brakes on this truck?
Oh, can they be considered bad when they don't exist? So really, the muscle truck could be surf, sand, and sea. It could be drag strip, off-roading, and handling.
Yeah, the handling thing.
Not really.
Not so much. I don't know if these are the right tires to go to the sand dunes, but it's what they had in stock that would fit our truck, so we're gonna try them.
Salton City, California is a beautiful resort town. They've got roads that resemble waves. I was ready to surf this thing. Check that out.
We are about 5 hours from Los Angeles in Imperial County, home of the Imperial Sand Dunes, which are better known as Glamis.
So what we have here is a 37 by 13.0 Super Swamper Bogger. And on the front, we have a 31 by 1150.
Step number one is there's about 8 half-inch bolts holding the top end of the step side to the bed.
She's free?
She's free.
Okay, next step is going to be to raise the front of the truck with airbags.
It's no secret that Freiburger is a little bit delusional with regards to automobiles and time and money. He thinks we're going to be able to stick those 31s under this truck and go off-roading without them hitting the fenders.
No, I don't think that. I hope that. Next thing what we're going to do is remove the inner fender wells out of this thing, because I continue to believe that I don't want to trash all the sheet metal on the truck. Look at that pristine inner fender well.
Clearance, Clarence.
One of the things I did to prep before we even got here is put this pre-filter on the cone air filter. Because if you have one of those regular, like, you know, K&N or Air Raid type filters on it, it'll get sand packed in it out on the dunes, so.
Well, normally I'd zip tie this wiring harness to the fender, but we only have 3 whole zip ties on this trip. The world's worst duct tape is gonna hold that up there.
Oh, don't you hate that? Don't you hate it when you're dealing with one of those ratchet type jack stands and you go to move it and the thing slams down and pinches you right in the web of your thumb? A lot of people believe that you want an all-terrain tire, nice smooth tread for flotation on the top of the sand. When I was the editor of 4-Wheel and Off-Road, we did a test and actually proved that a typical mud terrain is better than a typical all-terrain for blasting around in the dunes. But I'm sure plenty of you will disagree with that. And you'll probably be right when we go out there and sink this thing right to China. Ready?
God, this jack is fast.
That is a look. That's instant transformation. This is the sand muscle truck. This is a dual sport muscle truck.
This is Brutus.
I don't care if we don't make it 10 feet. This is a good look.
This is the best this truck's ever looked. Look how pissed off it is.
This gives it purpose too, doesn't it?
Ridiculous. I love it.
I think we've only spent about half an hour transforming it up to this point, maybe 45 minutes. But now we get into the really bloodthirsty part. It's gonna make me cry.
Well, here's the thing, is you can either just nip that corner there
and then just put a half
moon, which looks weird.
Yeah.
Or we can continue this cut and then bring it back down into here. Why don't we just do that? I am ruining Freiburger's day by plotting out how much sheet metal I think we're gonna have to hack off of this thing to keep it from crunching the fenders.
Somehow it doesn't have that Roadkill hacked but still cool thing going on. But I don't know what else we're gonna do. Wow. I don't know. Maybe I should just look the other way. The audience is gonna hate this as much as I do. So I think we should just cut away from it so nobody has to look at the gore, and then come back. We'll look at see how good it is.
We'll go home, we'll save this piece, flange it, Zeus it back on there. Then it truly is dual sport. Like it?
Sure.
By here, Freiburger will be in tears. And by here, he'll be throwing tools. And then it's, let's ride. Visualize the cut.
Yeah, I can't look. Just go.
Why is this fun for me right now?
It's not often you can actually get a photo of the moment of a loss of a loved one. Too late now.
Hello.
Did it just come out or break?
Broke the blade.
Okay. I'll just get you another one. It'll be fine. Wow. Okay, where were you on this one, and that one?
Well, as I was indicating before, the center is not the center, see?
Wow, that is bad. Yeah, he's just gonna make a flange and Zeus it right back on. It will be mint.
Look how much clearance you have now.
I'm gonna go cry. I think we just took about 2,500 bucks off the value of it. But then again, we bolted on $2,000 worth of boggers, so it all evens out. The thing that's gonna make it all great is the moment we're out there in the sand dunes blasting around.
Now you're talking.
Oh, I'm thinking it's pretty good.
Oh, that was awesome. It works awesome. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes! I think I'm glad we got the boggers. Did you feel it start to dig and then I throttled out of it? This is great!
Totally worth cutting the fenders for.
Oh yeah, we win.
Oh my God!
Okay. We're done.
Don't get stuck.
What are you doing?
That's not good at all, dude. Can we blow it back?
Yeah.
Well, our fun was cut a little bit short when we blew an airline going to the right front airbag. And of course, we don't have any airline. So we're gonna have to get creative here fixing that. And we can't get towed because we are nowhere near a highway. See those lights a couple miles that way? That's not the highway either. So we're gonna have to be MacGyver and fix this by ourselves.
We won't be defeated.
Good God, no.
We're back in the shop and we're gonna fix this thing. We decided that we needed to have a little bit more action out of the truck since we mangled it so badly. So we're gonna head up to Pismo this afternoon and do a shootout with Fred Williams from Dirt Every Day. But we have a couple things to fix, like, are you on the airline?
Yeah, we'll get the airline replaced. We'll get rid of the duct tape holding the wire.
Oh yeah. That and the exhaust fell off of this thing in the middle of the night on the road when we were on our way home from Glamis, the last deal, and it literally made for my worst night on Roadkill ever. It was freezing, it was like ear-piercing loud.
That was a crappy ride.
It was horrible.
And believe it or not, as much as I hacked the fender out, it still needs more because it rubs.
You're right. Oh, were you gonna tune that up?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It'll Zeus right back in.
Let's get out of here. That's pretty good. So we fixed the muscle truck, headed up PCH, and drove right through Malibu. Ultimately, we ended up in Pismo, California, and the next day, we were heading to the dunes. We woke up the next morning and had kind of a Mythbusters moment where we had to find out, could we smoke a set of 37-inch boggers with the muscle truck? The answer?
I'm standing in the middle of nowhere waiting on Freiburger and Finnegan, right on schedule. Be here at 9 a.m., they said.
Sorry we're early.
9 a.m., 12 p.m., whatever, it's all the same.
Yeah, we made it.
How are you?
How's it going?
Pretty good. Is this your muscle truck?
Car has paint on it.
I haven't seen the bug.
Oh, it's pretty good. That door doesn't shut.
I like the wagon wheels.
I like the boggers.
Those are shovels.
But you've got lightweight going for you, and we've got horsepower and boggers.
I know. I think we're pretty even.
Pretty even?
Considering.
I don't want to stand around anymore.
All right, let's go play in the sand.
Well, what's the plan? I think...
Race to the top of that dune. That's the plan.
Ooh, a drag race. A drag race uphill?
Yes. Starting downhill.
Like, start here.
Oh, here's the other thing.
It's on the other side.
Whenever you get somewhere, don't stop pointing uphill. You'll get stuck again.
We do have a shovel.
So here's what's happening. We've got the rental truck stuck, the bug stuck, the muscle truck stuck, and this guy's gonna yank us out right now. Yay!
Fred is stuck again. We'd be nothing without the video truck on this trip.
I really thought hooking up with the host from Dirt Every Day would up our dirt game, but no. If anything, it's slowing us down. All right, fellas, this is a drag race up that hill. To win the drag race, you have to go all the way over and disappear. I don't want to see you. If you get stuck and dig dirt from China, you lose. If you both get stuck, you have to get out and run to the top of the hill. Okay?
What?
When you hear me yell the word yoga pants, start your car and go.
Yogurt pants?
Yoga pants. Everybody got their safety gear on. All right, fellas.
What?
Yoga pants. Oh, really close. Go muscle truck. We win. So clearly, there is an advantage for you in acceleration and all that crap and horsepower. So this time,
I can't hear anything you're saying.
You're fine, don't worry.
What?
This time, go to the top, and you have to go all the way to the flat part, turn around and come back down. See, you're a little more maneuverable. This may equalize things a little bit here.
First, second, third, neutral, reverse, park.
All right, we good? Chuck Norris. Fred's being a little timid. Volkswagen's already making the turn. Uh-oh, Fred went way over the top. Way over the top. Just like that bad movie with Sylvester Stallone. Volkswagens are almost halfway here. Fred's not scared though, he's getting after it.
That's awesome.
All right, so I gotta ask you, who's having more fun? That's what I want to know.
I think we're both having a riot.
Okay, all right.
I had fun.
I want to try it.
Finnegan's busy right now. Here's what I need you to do. The challenge is going to be highest carve on this bowl.
All right.
The nearly vertical bowl, I might add. I'm going to flip a coin. You're going to decide which car you're driving first.
Okay.
Heads is going to be muscle truck, okay?
Okay.
What is
Ready? In the sand.
Heads.
All right, muscle truck. Let's do this.
Pretty miserable. Sand in my eyes, grit in my teeth, my truck getting ruined by other people. Turn the wheel to your right. Who needs four-wheel drive?
Well, he did just beat the muscle truck all the way to the top. Oh, check this out. Final challenge, hill climb, jump. It's a toss-up?
I think it is a tie.
Really? Wow. I am leaning towards the Bug just for...
Well, it got more air.
It got more air, it carved higher on the bull, it rides smoother, but it definitely isn't just as fun to rip around it.
I would say if you want the Bug, I will take the muscle truck.
I like the Bug. It's pretty.
Bug's good.
So in the end, we found ourselves driving home in this 69 Volkswagen Baja Bug. It was actually pretty cool, and you know what? I think the reason we did it is at this point, Finnegan and I were not ready for another long night in the loud old muscle truck. So maybe call us soft. And we'll leave it for you to decide. Did we really trade a 600 horsepower pickup truck for a VW? Maybe you'll find out in a future episode of Roadkill. So here's some stuff you didn't get to see last time. First and foremost, the ultimate cup holder / ratchet shifter mount. I'm pretty proud of this thing. It's made out of fence decorative hardware. This thing is, in fact, genius. I'm chewing sand. How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hurting my teeth.
Better than floss. Better than fluoride. Better than brushing every day.
Just flange it. Zeus,
oh, yeah.
Zeus it right
We'll
back.
go right back. No one will notice. Like it never happened.
On this episode of Roadkill, we're going to show you the entire buildup of my 55 Chevy Bel Air.
With Hemi.
So here's how I ended up with the 55 Chevy. When I was in high school, a buddy of mine named Clay Baber had a 56 Bel Air. And it was a four-door and it wasn't a gasser, but the body style left an impression on me. So that, and seeing the movie Two Lane Blacktop, just made me obsessed with this body style and getting one of these cars in my garage at some point in my life.
A year and a half. That's how long it's been since we ran up to Oregon in episode 8 of Roadkill and took his bare 55 Chevy body, plopped it onto a Jim Meyer Racing gasser chassis, and then came home and almost did nothing with it. And so now we're gonna force him to get it done. We gotta jam this thing together in 15 days in time for the Grand National Roadster Show.
So she looks different from the last time you saw her because all of the rust is gone. That's a fiberglass front clip, which we bought to shave weight. Here's the Jim Meyer Racing bitchin' gasser chassis. So far, we've moved the firewall back to actually fit the Hemi in here, started a roll cage, but essentially, it needs everything. So the car over the last year and a half hasn't had a ton of work done to it, but it hasn't exactly sat around either. It's got all new floorboards, which we got from Classic Industries, and had our friends at Hot Rods and Hobbies weld into the car. So we've got a solid foundation that we can now use to weld our roll cage into, which we got from Chris Dowson's Chassis Works. So the car is solid. It's basically a roller. The body is mostly intact. We've just got to do everything else to make it run. It's a ton of work, but it's not impossible. I predict a lot of all-nighters and broken knuckles and stuff like that, but we may end up divorced from our wives on this deal. But I will finally get to drive my car, hopefully on my birthday. Yeah, I mean, when you're gonna build a car in 15 days, you need a list, because you're never gonna remember anything, even with the list, but this at least keeps everyone on track. But the big thing is it reminds you need to order parts, because we don't have anything we need to build this right now, and it's day one, and we need to overnight stuff, basically. Wow, you're good.
The reasons that we dummied the engine in the car are, one, we needed to measure up a drive shaft length so that we could get that coming. And then we had to put the steering column in the car. And the main reason for that is to see what our obstacles are for making headers. See, the problem here is this is the steering box, and
this is where this needs to go, and I'm not even lined up with the port. It needs to come up. Even this side's a nightmare. It goes straight into the frame rail, but way more workable than your side.
So our second major hurdle is figuring out how to build a set of headers for this thing, because nobody makes headers to put a Hemi in a 55. So we've got a bunch of bends from Hedman headers. We're gonna chop them up right now and see if our engine location is gonna work with our steering. So this is our test pipe right here.
Give me the cold end.
If we make this work, then we can leave the engine where it's at and we don't have to hack up the rest of the car.
Which will save us days. Yeah, I'm worried it's gonna hit in here if we do that. Go like this.
I'll put a more of an angle this way on it.
Yeah. We've never made headers before, but so far it's proving easy. All you need is flanges and a zillion tube bends and a whole lot of cutting, slicing, dicing, pie cutting, wedging, pizza cutting, and figuring.
And a great attitude.
Last night I had an epiphany about how to get that one header tube around the steering column, and that sort of broke this project wide open because we were thinking we were going to have to drop the steering box or raise the engine or do something to get headers on the car. So Finny and I stayed really late last night getting really excited about building sets of headers, and we're trying to make them perfectly symmetrical on both sides so it's got that cool Gasser evil look. See, the deal is when you cut the tube in a straight piece, it becomes perfectly round. If you cut it off square in the middle of a turn, then it becomes a big oval like this, and there's no way to put them together. So that makes this more of a challenge.
They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. It's kind of what we've been doing here today.
Yeah, how many of those bends have we used?
Look, there's your Hedman Hemi into 55 Chevy header kit, and there's the mistakes.
Those aren't mistakes, those are trim, those are fine-tuning adjustments. Dude.
Just set it on there, next to our new header.
That is Gasser right there. Look at that.
Yay us. Yay us.
That's pretty big. That's something we have not done before. Yeah, they're definitely a Gasser looking header for sure. They've got a little bit of zoomy action going to them, and then the Gasser thing. Look at that. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's the reason we're here.
That is a giant engine.
I know. It looks even better with the headers, doesn't it?
Oh my God.
Wow.
It just got real. Look at that.
This side, not so impressive. This side, swing. There, okay. A lot of people think that we fabricate drama for Roadkill and we're always on a tight schedule and why don't we plan better? Well, here is the reality of our life. We're working on 5 different cars here right now that all need to get done before the end of the month. My 32 Ford there is going to become a roller to go to the Grand National Roadster Show at the same time as Finnegan's 55, which is of course the major project. Then we've also got the muscle truck that's getting MSD fuel injection on it for an editorial story. And over here, we've got my Super B and Crusher Camaro that Grant is prepping to take to the drag strip next week. Actually, yeah, which is going to take 3 days out of the schedule to go have to test those 2 things.
Less talking, more working. There are 11 days left in order to complete the entire car. And so I needed help. Right now, video guy Mark is TIG welding the headers that we built the other day. My buddy Todd is helping me fit the fiberglass front clip on this thing. And it'll be a big accomplishment if today we can make that thing tilt. I think we have to cut it back here.
We're having a problem fitting the front end. The fiberglass seems like really rigid over here and it doesn't fit as well as it used to. And we're thinking it's because we tried to dry that fiberglass resin with a heat gun and it might have warped the glass a little bit right there. And so Todd's gonna grind on it and try and make it a little bit more supple, see if we can fit it again. Yeah. Ready? Does it hit? And yes, big time. Oop, but. Yeah.
Look at that. That is cool. I need to sit behind the wheel.
That is so evil looking.
Pretty cool. That's way too high.
Way too high, but I get to see. The next like big moment will be firing it off.
Yeah.
We finished the headers, we were dead tired, but we loaded the engine up and took it straight to the dyno. The dyno has its own cooling system, which the guys hooked up because we thought we were really close to getting ready to fire the engine up, but the moment they turned the water onto the engine, a hole magically appeared in the water pump, and it's just peeing out onto the floor of the dyno cell, which is no good. So we're gonna have to go buy a new water pump. $680 pound-feet of torque. That's gonna be fun. Now that it's broken, we're gonna drain the oil out of it, cut the oil filter open. That's gonna give us a good visual check of how the bearings are doing in this thing right now. And if this thing is full of, metal, basically your engine's eating itself alive and you need to take it apart and start over. Ours is not doing that. So we get to keep going with this build. Well, I'm at a loss right now. We broke the engine in, made a couple of power pulls to 6,000 RPM, made great power, and it puffed a little bit of smoke out of one breather at the end of a pull. Changed the oil, fired it back up, it's down on power and smoking out of the breathers as if it's wounded. But we did a compression check and it checked out fine. We cut the oil filter up, drained the oil. Everything looks fine. So I don't know what's going on. Every dyno test is an emotional roller coaster. Strap the engine down, cross your fingers that it's gonna run properly and that the work you've done is correct. 5 hours ago, we found blown head gaskets. Engine's back together now. Hopefully we're heroes. We broke it, we fixed it, and made more power than I actually even requested. Not bad. It was an amazing feeling of accomplishment to overcome that obstacle. We made 700 horsepower and 700 pound-feet of torque. The problem was our one-day dyno test took 2 days, and now there was no hope of making the Roadster show.
When Finnegan brought the engine back from the dyno, we had the body off of the chassis. We needed to paint the underside and do some things like that. And so we were able to mock the engine in and finally get in our bitchin' T56 Magnum transmission, which is a double overdrive 6-speed from American Powertrain. When May 2014 rolled around, we still had not touched the car since our debacle at the Grand National Roadster Show. But we had another scheme. We were going to drive it to the very beginning of the Hot Rod Power Tour event in Charlotte, North Carolina.
And the honest to God truth is, I'm gonna ignore this because this is everything we have to do. I have done things. The actual engine is in the car. Right now, my buddy Todd Griggs is 10 feet in the air sanding the dash because you need to sand the dash to drive, right? All right, so we've got wiring, plumbing, brakes, fuel system, lots to do. Let's go to work.
This is not even close to the complete
registration.
list.
I've insured it. It's got insurance, just doesn't have registration.
Yeah.
I'm mocking up our new gas tank. And this is a stealth tank from Aeromotive. It's a brand new gas tank that's powder coated and has a fuel pump built into it that will support 900 horsepower worth of naturally aspirated engine. Way more than I need. So I bought 2 stock filler necks. I'm gonna pie cut them right around here, weld them back together so that we can reach from here to here. And then Freiburger's gonna plumb this, and then this will be our new fuel system. Next to building engines, this is my favorite part about building cars. Now, all I gotta do is pull this back out, clean the pipe, TIG weld it back together, put it back in here, build a bracket. Done. So I gotta do brakes, the rest of the fuel system, steering, paint the dash.
I'm working on the fuel system, and we want to run hardline the full length underneath the car just because it's more Sano and it flows better. Not going to call it perfection, but it might be Roadkill 55 Chevy good enough. Let's see. I needed to put a whoop-de-doo in this to clear this deal, to drop it down, to clear this body mount. Thing is now, I have to bend another one exactly like that one. And what's the chances that I can do that?
This is the mailbox scoop that's going on the hood of the gasser. This is the whole reason I built this car. This is like waiting for Christmas. I want this on the car. Bueno, like it.
Can we write Hemi on the side of this? Like get some cool 60s graphic? Hemi. There you go.
Okay, so this is why the scoop is clear now. Last night we mounted our yellow scoop right here without realizing that that was gonna hit the front of the scoop. So then we cut the front of the scoop to clear that, and then we realized rain will go in there. So now we made a new top. We're gonna slide it forward about right there. Bend the new top, remount it. Now our scoop's clear.
I've got the fuel system completely mapped out and the hard lines bent, so today my goal is to get it connected to the engine at the front and the gas tank at the back, and then if I can finish that up, I'm gonna move on to the steering column. I finished up my trick little bracket here. See, it holds the fuel tank vent here, goes to the inside of the car there, and this bolts to the fuel filler neck. Well, it's the end of the second day, and I'm sort of the last guy standing on the 55 project. I think I'm gonna hang out for a little while and try and wrap up my fuel system situation. All the other guys have hit the road to go deal with Mother's Day, which I'll probably do pretty soon as well. And then we'll be back at it Monday, crossing fingers for actual progress.
I wanted to get back to you. We have a truck that's leaving California on the 22nd.
If I say yes, and the car's not ready, how much trouble am I in?
What I would ask is that if you're not going to be able to make it, let me know by the 20th or the morning of the 21st, because I'm sure that we can find another vehicle out of California to fill your spot if we need to.
So here's the plan. Don Schumacher, who we met in episode 30, invited us to any race we wanted to go to hang out in his pit. And I thought, good God, it would be amazing to get this car done and go hang out with Don Schumacher at a drag race. And the only one that works with our schedule is in May, and it's the Englishtown event. So we have to build it, make sure it runs, get it to Englishtown in 13 days so we can hang out with Don and then have a road trip adventure and film an episode of Roadkill.
What I'm doing is making these gussets that are gonna end up triangulating this bar to the main hoop and also the main hoop to the windshield bar. And so I'm having to take this piece of tubing and hand fish mouth it so that it fits nicely against the tubing. It's gotta fit really, really tight so that he can TIG weld it. I gotta have virtually no gap all the way around this grind.
All right, so here's the stress. In a Tri-5 Chevy, the frame rails run right about here. Well, you don't want to put a roll bar there, that's right where your feet go. So the bar comes way out here, and then you weld this outrigger to the frame, and then the bar comes down here and contacts it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the floor out so that we can access all sides of the steel. And then we'll weld the floor back in. We're nearing the end of the build here, and I always figured it would be something like the clutch not working or fuel pump or something that would stop us dead in our tracks. But right now, our Lexan windshield doesn't fit the car. We accidentally cut it too small. I need to call ProGlass to order a new front window, which is kind of a big deal because they make them one at a time. But before I do that, we're gonna test fit the back window to see if that one needs reordering too before I call. So since yesterday, we got a lot done actually. We named the car, kind of a big deal, you know, because that'll help it run. And we got the seat frame done, the ignition box and the fuel panel are in. There's really about like 4 hours worth of wiring left, and then we can try to fire the engine. I think it's tomorrow. It feels like tomorrow. It feels like the day we're supposed to be leaving. But we're doing good. There hadn't really been any major hiccups. So if we can stay awake, we're gonna make it. There, I'm rested. I can go again.
So here's the deal on the shoulder bar. This is the roll cage kit for the Datsun. I can bend, or I can cut this bend off and that bend off and sleeve it in the middle and make our shoulder bar. And I've ransacked the shop, and our digital caliper that doesn't have digital readout tells me it's this size. So,
No.
yes.
Oh no. That's so much work.
It's the only piece in the whole shop that fits.
This is it? The whole shop? There's nothing but...
Not even close. Also not even close. What is that, like shower piping? You saved the Datsun. All right, the Datsun lives. And now I have got to butt and sleeve both halves of the shoulder bar together. And this is a moment of truth where I'm actually gonna cut it and start that process. If it's too short right now, I cry like a girl. Roadkill aficionados, I will have you know, this came from the Rotsun. So the Rotsun is now saving the bacon of the 55 Chevy. This probably takes 2 people. I could be wrong, but it probably does. Finn.
I don't think we're gonna leave till tomorrow. The good news is, the guys that are transporting the car, somehow we suckered them into working on the car. So although they were gonna leave today, they're busy putting lights in the car and putting the hood on. So maybe they won't notice that we're probably not gonna leave for 24 hours later than they thought they were gonna leave.
What can we cross off? Seat mount. We're sitting in them.
Yes.
O2 bung, I brought it. Parking brake, not gonna happen. Rear view mirror, not happening here. Glove box.
Done.
Done. Gauges, no. Windshield, no. Rear window, no. Console plate, no. Adjust doors, no. Finish flares, no. Grind door welds.
Done.
Done. Okay.
Well, this isn't so bad now, see?
Oh yeah, no problem.
There's only 20 or 30 more things on there.
It looks a lot like that.
We're fine.
It's 5 a.m., 2 days past when we were supposed to leave, and we're about to fire this thing up for the first time. We hope. We've already had fuel leaks, dead battery, wiring issues. That's all solved. Right now is supposed to be rank, vroom.
All right. Water pump's on. Ready? Fan, VSS. All right, here we go. Look at that, fired right up. There you go, that's off. 3 weeks of thrashing, lots of blisters on my hands from wiring until I'm, well, blistered. But now, I'm gonna try to go around the block. Ready? The clutch is still engaged. Well, that was the worst, best ride of my entire life. The brakes don't work, the clutch sticks, it rides horribly, and I don't care. 'Cause look at this.
Man, that was a lot of wrenching over a lot of time, but we finally got it done. And you're gonna come back to the next episode of Roadkill where we're actually gonna hit the road headed to Charlotte for Hot Rod Power Tour. How many times have we, finished this car for the first time for the last time?
Is this the second attempt or the third attempt?
Yeah, we're gonna build it in 3 days.
This is completely embarrassing. I have no idea where reverse is on this transmission. So I'm gonna go get a shift knob that has the pattern on it so I can find out.
Just want to get in there and swim around for about a week, making motor noises because it doesn't run right now.
I just want to put 8 more screws in it and be done with it.
It's not a bad idea.
Oh, it's only 1 a.m.
It's early.
It's half day. Oh, I'm good now. Let's get back to work. On this episode of Roadkill, 0 fail. We built this garbage and drove it 2,500 miles to Power Tour.
We suck less this time.
Little bit less.
There's always next time.
Last time on Roadkill, you saw us working on this car, our 55 Chevy Gasser with 530 cubic inches and 700 horsepower worth of Mopar Hemi in it. It's also got an American powertrain 6-speed and 543 axle gears. But that is not going to stop us from hitting the road because we wrapped it up just in time to hit the highway 2-lane blacktop style.
Well, car has a new name and a new home. because we got kicked out of the hot rod garage when they decided to kill the power last night at about 8. And we're leaving this morning with still a bunch of work left to do. We've got to finish the harness bar, figure out why the clutch is leaking, and I think bolt in a seat for Freiburger because he kind of wants to drive on this trip. And where are we going?
North Carolina. Charlotte.
Yeah, it's 2,500 miles from here, I think, and we have 5.5 days to get there. No problem. I have complete faith in this automobile.
We hit Finnegan's shop at 6 a.m., hoping to get on the road by around noon, but that didn't work out. It turned into a full 12-hour thrash.
This is all that sits between my spine and that back brace for the next 2,500 miles.
Iron Man.
I haven't been further than around the block in my 55, and now I'm driving to North Carolina.
No problem. Except for that.
That's not good.
Seat feels better to me.
Oh God, it's so much stiffer now. There's a brace in there?
Yeah, but that's good. I thought it was gonna break when I was driving it.
You only like it because you have the back of a 103-year-old man.
Yeah.
Me, this is a little harsh for. It's a little rough.
Little stiff. Well, it made it around the block, so I figure we're good for 2,500 miles. Hit it.
We won't even need an oil change.
We might. This thing would be nothing without the stick. It's Monday now. We hit the road last night figuring we were gonna go about 500 miles and we made it like 150. So we got a crank. Sits too high in the front. We need to pull a leaf out of the front and crank up the coils in the back.
I agree. But not now.
Not now.
Let's go. Buckle up with your new seatbelts.
Sweet!
I love this job.
We woke up on day 2 in Barstow, California, and at this point we still had 2,450 miles to go and only 5 days to get there, which meant more miles per day. But this is Roadkill, and you knew stuff was going to slow us down, and the first thing was really stupid. We were cruising along the highway, and it started to like surge really quickly, and then it like backfired. I thought we were running out of gas, but it doesn't seem to be, so we're looking at the tune-up.
This says everything's fine, but we have no gas gauge nor speedometer. You know, either one of those things would be useful right now because we don't know how far we've driven, nor do we know what gas is in the tank.
We do know volts, oil, and temp,
which is better than normal. So, say,
we're living large. Let's go.
Be fine.
Ready?
Yep.
That was probably me.
That was you.
Okay, so we are in fact out of gas. 113 miles, video guy says. How big's this tank?
16.
7 miles per gallon.
You were going allegedly 95 to 100-ish at certain points of that.
Yep.
Up a mountain, so. Okay. The Hemi and the Chevy wasn't such a good idea after all.
This is gonna be expensive.
Oh boy.
Let's just start running the 87. Here's a question, will 5 gallons get us 17 miles to Seligman, Arizona?
5 times 7. Yeah, if we're still getting 7 miles to the gallon, that gets us there.
Okay.
I feel like an orange Challenger. I think all of the Challengers are orange. You ever notice that?
Quite a few. Okay, you want to drive?
Sure.
17 miles to Seligman?
I'll eat, get a food coma, and make you drive again?
Yeah. After running out of gas, it looked like we were going to be home free. The car was working surprisingly well for something that we had thrown together and driven around the block before we hit the road. But then, it started to bite us. Okay. This threaded little doohickey right here goes in the middle of the clutch rod to adjust the overall length of it. And it was out at the end of its adjustment and obviously backed off a little bit and came apart. See how the thread's gacked?
Oh, it came out?
It came out, right. Because it's missing a lock nut. So we need to ungack that, and then it'll thread right back together, and it would be great if I could find a lock nut for it. I'm trying to carve out pieces of metal that are in my way from threading it back on. We didn't fully fix the clutch at the side of the road, so it was still hanging up by the time we hit Flagstaff, Arizona, but we met a fan there who worked at a Chevy dealership and was gonna hook us up.
It appears Home Depot doesn't believe in having fine thread bolts, taps, or all thread, so we're gonna have to fix what we have. And Henry works at this Chevy dealership and was kind enough to bring us inside his house, let us borrow his tools, which is like borrowing somebody's woman. This is kind of a big deal. All right, you can see the metal coming out of it as it cleans up the threads. Here we go, good as new.
There's never been a 55 Chevy with a Hemi in it in a dealership in Arizona while fixing clutch linkage before.
Never.
Ever.
First ever, setting records.
This guy Henry was totally cool, and the least we could do was just run him around the block in the 55.
Kind of surreal, honestly.
But why is that?
It's surreal. I kind of like have to smack myself to realize I'm actually in the car with David Freiburger driving the Blasphemy around town I'm living in.
The other thing that Henry pointed out to us was that one of the places where they had shot the 2-lane blacktop movie was just up the road, Mary's Cafe, where they shot that scene where the guys pick up the girl, and all of a sudden it dawned on us, without even planning it, our whole road trip was following about the same route as the guys in the 2-lane blacktop movie. We had to pull over because there was so much smoke in the cabin. It was just brutal, and it seemed like the regular Roadkill exhaust leak, but we can't find that. But the transmission is just puking everywhere, and we can't figure out why or where.
No, let's just hit the road.
By the end of the day, the 55 was running good, and we were feeling good, and we made it all the way into Gallup, New Mexico.
Got about 4 hours of sleep in a seedy motel in Gallup, New Mexico. And we got, I don't know, about 650 miles we need to go today.
One thing we've been battling the whole time on this trip is that the clutch pedal feels funky. And I got it so that it was really good, but then the adjuster screwed itself out and it fell apart yesterday. And ever since then, we haven't been able to get the clutch pedal to feel right. So I put in some more adjustment today. Right now we're bleeding it just because who knows. And now I'm checking the master cylinder to make sure that I'm not bleeding it dry, which I'm not. So we're gonna give this another shot. Okay, pump her up.
1, 2, 3, holding. Yeah,
hey, that had air.
Yeah, it went all the way to the floor when I was holding it. I think it's better. It still has that little kink in it, but I think it's better.
This slot is all the way down. That is not coming out, and there's no way to get a wrench on that. And the other side, it's rammed up against the firewall.
Better.
Move it more?
Yeah, go just a hair more, because it's got a little bit of rub still.
So it is bottoming on that, or not bottoming on the piston, but rubbing the underside of the piston.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Okay, let's stop somewhere and get fluid.
Okay.
Because it's now pretty low. Day 3 turned out to be pretty much the cruise we were hoping for. Virtually nothing went wrong with the car, and we spent the day with the laptop open just tuning on our fast EFI. We ultimately got 17 miles per gallon out of that big Hemi.
Ooh, it is Africa hot. It's about 100 degrees out. Car's running at about 215 degrees, and all of a sudden it just turned off. Not sure why, so we coasted for a little while and turned it back on. It fired right back up, so I don't know. We'll keep going, I guess. You probably recognize these guys from their hugely popular TV show Street Outlaws, and we came by their shop to hang out with Big Chief and Murder Nova.
Hope you don't mind if we're using your shade. How's it going?
What's going on, man? How are you?
The usual.
Looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Not bad. It's been running hard.
That's a sweet ass steering wheel.
Oh yeah, that's one of the best parts of the whole thing.
It looks like Ray Charles welded the headers with his feet.
We could comment on that.
So the engine had 2 miles on it, was completely untuned, and you hit the highway.
Yeah.
That's, dude, God, I want to do that so
had
badass.
a little bit of a tune in it.
How are the fumes in the car? Are they good?
A little bit of fumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there?
It's what keeps us going. Without a little bit of carbon monoxide.
The fumes keep you awake, really.
I love it. I don't think you're allowed to weld that bar together, are you?
Not
Yeah,
technically.
there was going to be some foam over that.
Hey, sometimes, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Hey, put your pad over it.
There was going to be some foam over that.
Sometimes you need 4 foot, you only got 2 feet. When you were thinking this thing up, were you thinking about how cool it was?
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted the 2-lane blacktop car, and it was his idea to put the Hemi in.
Yeah, I'd wanted to do the Hemi in it for a long time.
I think so you've driven it halfway across the country already. If there's anything that you could change about the car up to this point,
Seats.
besides the passenger, what would it be?
Passenger's a given. Let's be honest. I don't know. Nothing really.
I mean, if you had to do it all over, you'd do everything exactly the same?
I'm happy with it.
Really?
That's
cool.
Dents and all, I'm cool with it.
What do the people on the highway think when they pass by? Or when you
chicks
pass
just
them?
throw themselves at us. It's ridiculous.
I've never done a burnout in a stick shift 55 with a Hemi and fuel injection.
No one but us has. You can't get a whole lot done when you're just standing around laughing with your buddies, so the time came that we had to get a whole bunch of just little stuff done on the car.
Be gentle.
Hate that. That's the worst. I thought if it was wallered out, that means it's like worn out to an oval.
Well, wallered out is bigger than it should be.
Okay.
That
So if
needs a
somebody
little bit
says
of
your
wallering
girlfriend's all wallered out, that's
yeah,
bad
that's
deal?
probably not good. You might around here, you might actually get into a fight.
Okay.
Sidecar.
Hogatone's coming off the edge. It doesn't hold.
It fits now.
Going all out.
This is a really It's a really great bit you got there.
Can anybody fiberglass?
Holy.
Nailed it.
Okay, mine's got
Dude,
no
that
problem.
one, you can throw it at that one over there.
Yeah.
We're an inch off. Oh,
How about now?
hang on. One more? Ah, that's it.
It's folding the hood up.
Okay, that won't go anywhere.
It's way more cooler now that I've sat in it.
Yeah?
Because you get a feeling looking inside.
It's 2-lane blacktop.
And not just that, but you get a feeling of the road. Like, you know what I mean? There's little things done to the car for a road trip that's not done to most of the race cars I sit in. You know what I mean? Like there's a cell phone holder.
And the cup holder.
And the cup holder.
And the cell phone charger.
And then the glove box open with, you know, what used to be your money in it.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's really cool. I'm digging on it.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're gonna have to make one?
We're gonna have to make one.
At the end of the day, Big Chief was pretty much scared to drive the 55 because he knew he would break it. And so Finnegan hopped in with Sean and gave him a quick ride.
The cops really don't hassle you around here or what? It's amazing.
Hey, man. Thing is badass.
Thank you. Thanks, man. Hey, thank you.
Good time.
Thanks for helping, for hanging out. It was awesome. Had a lot of fun. Yeah, that was great. Thank you.
I can't believe they let us ruin their shop all day.
It's Thursday morning now, and we're in Little Rock, Arkansas. Today, it's an 8-hour jaunt over to Atlanta, and we're going to stop at Comp Cams along the way. And other than that, we don't really have a plan. Finnegan's on the phone with Meffy Bob, trying to sort out some of our fuel injection issues and figure out timing at cruise so we can get even a little bit better gas mileage than the 17 that we've already hit.
Yeah, when you let the clutch out, it didn't like it shattered at all.
Yeah.
It's surging a little bit right here though, huh? Okay, hold on, let me fatten it up a little.
Totally fixed. Amazing.
Awesome.
That is cool. We're just pulled over now in Arkansas because we had a little bit of oil mist on one of the GoPros on the back of the car, but we don't think it's any big deal. It's kind of normal stuff. We were on it pretty hard out on the highway. It might have just fogged a little out the breather or exhaust or something. It was also only doing that when we were driving about 140, so I'll just sort of lay off the 140 from now on.
The back of the car is ice skating right now.
Told you 10 miles an hour.
I think those two teeny tiny grooves in those slicks are the only thing saving us right now.
Hi there, I'm driving in the rain on drag slicks right now, and I'm looking for some new rear tires. I'm wondering if you have something like a 275 60/15. Do you have any 15-inch tires at all?
That wasn't boring. Wow. I've heard of guys only being able to go like 8 to 10 miles an hour on drag slicks in the rain. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we just went 35. So still alive, still in one piece, still making progress.
Right outside of Memphis, it started to rain really badly. And in case you hadn't noticed, we're driving this thing on drag slicks. And that meant we were not going to be able to stop at Comp Cams and visit our buddies there in Memphis. We had to keep on the road and just make time. I'm in trouble because I already have like the sense of victory, because we're here in Atlanta, which is only 4 hours from Charlotte where I need to be tonight, which probably means I won't get fired for missing this event I'm required to attend.
Home stretch.
But right now it's 10:15. We agreed we were going to be wheels up at 10 o'clock. We're going over to Rutledge Wood's house, and he's going to throw us out by at least noon, I'm guessing earlier. And then we're going to hit the road and hope that we make it.
We're huge Top Gear fans. So if we're going through Atlanta, we gotta stop by Rutledge Wood's house.
Sure.
Yep, that'd be it. Oh, look at that. It drove that from LA. Yeah. That thing is so awesome.
Sorry to stink up your town.
It's so much more ridiculous than I thought. I'm so impressed at the sheer size of your nuts. You've seen Top Gear. Like, we do some pretty dumb stuff. This is much dumber than the things that we do.
I don't know, dude. Can I see the van?
Oh, please.
I've never actually.
Yeah.
I saw it at SEMA, but I've never.
I wanted like the hot rod family hauler that could still pull a trailer. So it's on a 99 2500 frame that we shortened.
That's a big project.
It's a big project because you kind of don't know. Now it's got cats on there, and it comes out both sides.
It's got really nice sheet metal work.
Yeah, this is
bead rolling.
This is Lucra out of San Diego. And so they built the dash for me, did the engine cover.
Wow.
But it's got vintage air. It's got a GPS speedo because I learned that lesson too. I made it to Bristol, Tennessee in like 4.5 hours, and apparently it's like a 6-hour trip.
What's the name?
Oh yeah.
Is it a small block or a big block?
Small block. It's the
6 liter.
yeah, it's a 6.2 LS3, 525 horse. You kids want to go for a ride?
Yeah, spin it around. Rutledge's van is an all-aluminum bodied 49 Chevy Curbmaster. Not exactly your mainstream hot rod, but a lot of fun. Mint!
You know that part at the end of the show, we're always like, hey, who makes a show? These guys. Yeah, you look good.
Wasn't me.
You got it.
Hey, you look sharp out there.
Thank you.
You look good too.
A little bit.
Hey, if you guys could just do, like when you're on the road, just more of these like dramatic, like...
Oh yeah.
Do these
Yeah, we don't
shots.
get much of that.
Because my nostrils aren't big enough.
Dude, look at that sun.
Here, you got to do the reality show pose too, right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, stand awkwardly close and look like that. Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
You and your throne of judgment. Your penny-powered 55.
Hey, good-looking beard, huh?
Look, wait.
Don't get 'em
Spontaneous
intertwined.
combustion if they touch,
You gotta
dude.
go.
We're gonna
We'll start
Velcro
a
together.
fire.
Hey, thanks for watching Roadkill. We'll see you next time. We're gonna do some silly stuff. You're gonna love it. Shenanigans.
Oh, you said it.
Hey,
Now
hold
somebody's
this.
gotta get
Hold this.
shot.
I forgot that one thing to say.
What's that?
Is it on? Yeah, if you really like car shows and reality shows, this is actually the only one in existence. This show is it. If you're looking for a reality show and car show, there is only one.
You are gonna get fired.
And it's Roadkill. Oh, Top Gear's awesome. It's just, I love it. I'm just saying, like, this is real stuff. I do this for like 7 hours and I'll be like, I'll be at the hotel.
Rutledge loves us, Mother Nature hates us. As soon as we hit the road, bam, more rain.
Oh, perfect. All right, guess I'm getting fired for not getting there on time.
Yeah, well, we didn't want this trip to be too easy, right? So we called up Mother Nature and asked her to just drop a deuce right here in Atlanta for us. Now we got drama. What are we, 5 hours from the end of this trip, and now it's dangerous.
Very. As much as it blows, I think I'm officially calling it.
Oh, you have to.
I know.
You can't sit here.
I really wanted to go all the way.
If you're late for that men's fragrance sampling party you're going to tonight, you'll never live it down.
It's all over. I know it. Be safe.
Yep.
All right.
See you later.
I'm gonna hop in over here with Painless Derek, who's been following us in the Cadillac. He's the sponsor of the big party at Power Tour tomorrow. He was just doing this with us to hang out and be cool, but it's a good thing, because now he's gonna go save my bacon.
Oh, good, a traffic jam. I've never been so happy to see slow cars in my entire life. Woohoo! Yeah, everybody's got to slow down. I just got passed by a horse trailer. That's all right. We're moving.
It was a big letdown for me not to be able to ride all the way to Charlotte, North Carolina with Finnegan in the 55. But you know what? That moment when he finally made it and rolled in, completely road weary and terrified from the rain, and the fans just crowded around the car, he and I grabbed a Corona, gave each other a toast, and it was like, man, we did it.
We got up this morning, pushed the start button, it didn't want to start, plugged the laptop in, and the tune-up that we parked it with last night is gone. We arrived with Alpha N in the box and woke up this morning and speed density was in the box. So I'm at a loss there. So we've eliminated the files we were tuning with over the last 2 days and went back to the file we had in there when we started this trip, which gave us 17 miles to the gallon, but is not tuned for wide open throttle. That's part of the problem with this thing is the injector offset.
Yeah.
It's too wide of a window. It
needs voltage. Yeah, see, it's going down.
How did it work last night? All right, let's just get to the event, because this isn't going to run very far. We knew things had been going too easy on this trip, so of course the Roadkill curse bit us at the least opportune moment.
2,500 miles, and here we are.
Ready?
Way too low. The battery no likey. It doesn't have enough voltage to trigger the ECM.
Just hook it up, that's it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
All right, lifesaver. That could be helpful, yeah.
This trip was amazing. First, we built a ludicrous car, a Hemi and a 55 Chevy Gasser. And then, after just driving it around the block once, we hit the road for 2,600 miles, and in the big picture, really didn't have that many problems. And we survived on rain, on slicks, and we hung out with a bunch of really cool people, but the capper was the fans that we met along the way. We had been letting them follow us on a live GPS map online, and everywhere we went, they came out to see us at gas stations and waving at the side of the road, and it was just awesome to meet people and hear their gearhead stories. And it really came to a head at this party at Power Tour, where we were just thronged with a bunch of people who watched Roadkill. And meeting the little kids who were inspired by it, the whole thing was truly humbling. We know that there's a lot of views on YouTube, but to just be able to talk to people and find out how the show affects their lives, man, it makes it all worthwhile. And in all, made this the best Roadkill trip ever.
You built the motor, and it's your car.
It's my car.
And that's your buddy, and you guys are driving it across the country.
But we're not good.
That's badass. But you built the motor.
Yeah.
So that takes some serious trust in yourself to jump behind the wheel
And
after you.
it had 2 miles on it when we left town.
Oh, so it was broke in.
Yep, just about. No oil in it, but it was broken.
It had plenty of break-in mileage, but no oil.
Apparently I can build them and just not fill them with fluids.
I want to do that.
2 miles is 8 quarter-mile passes.
That's right.
So
yeah,
oh god,
that's a weekend for you.
That's pretty broke in.
Yeah. This time on Roadkill, Subaru was foolhardy enough to challenge us, their legacy, against our garbage.
It doesn't even have a turbo.
This time on Roadkill, we go legit because Subaru of America watched an episode of ours and said, you know what? We can beat these guys in any of their pieces of junk. And so Subaru has set up 3 distinct competitions for us, and they're going to let us pick whatever car we want to go head-to-head with them. Our first challenge brought us to Bakersfield, California at the fairgrounds, and this was the first time we had ever seen the Subaru Legacy. We expected Subaru to bring out a WRX, but nope. This is the base model. They were like,
you guys suck so bad, we're not even gonna bring out the big guns?
Right.
Dude, it's an automatic.
Wow, this is weird. It's a boxer motor, you know, it's a posed 4-cylinder.
That looks like that's gonna make smoothies for me.
This one's a 4-banger, but the key is it's got that symmetrical all-wheel drive, and they are convinced that they can smoke us in the dirt. I think that's what they're counting on to beat us, because it ain't the 175 horsepower.
This feels like day one of high school auto shop. I don't even know what I'm looking at there. It's got paddle shifters, cameras in the front and the back, an electric parking brakes, all stuff I don't quite understand. Ooh,
sunroof. The first thing that we're gonna do is just get some kind of a feel for the Legacy because we've never driven it before and we don't know exactly what's gonna happen in the dirt. It starts to push.
Oh, you go, yeah.
Way wide. We might win this.
But is a big wide turn at speed faster than carrying very little speed in and out of a donut?
Who knows? What's your take right now?
I think this makes wide turns and whoops our asses.
Well,
which is why I'm hoping you did a bunch of cool stuff to this when it's gone.
We selected the Ranchero as our ringer for the first race. We bought the Ranchero 3 years ago for cheap because we wanted to drive to Alaska for an ice race. We failed to get there the first time, but in 2013, we made it all the way from Los Angeles to Big Lake, Alaska, and indeed slid sideways around a frozen racetrack.
We brought in some help with some other guys from the shop, and the first thing we had to do was change the engine. We had overheated the old one so many times it was just junk. We drove this thing to Alaska, and I don't know at what point it got dropped to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh my God, there's stuff growing on it.
Oh, I know, it's literally got mold on it, but
Dude, it's like the SS Minnow under here.
Oh, it's bad. We ended up having to put in this really weak little 302 just because it was the engine that we could get our hands on most quickly. It's 10-to-1 compression, it's got Edelbrock Easy Street heads on it, it's a regular carbureted deal. It's actually a pretty decent motor. It makes something like 330 or 350 horsepower, we're not sure. It's backed up by a Gearstar C4 and an 8-inch rear end that has two 78-to-1 gears. But the huge problem with the Ranchero is that the suspension was junk.
She's actually been lowered.
Just the front. The back
Still
is,
sits
the
like
back
a
is still
4x.
jacked up.
Yeah.
But it's got coilovers on the front now. Alston Chassis Works, brand new set of coilovers with maybe the right spring rate, maybe not.
Maybe not.
And 0 adjustment. We just put them in the car and left.
And that's it?
Yeah, roadkill.
It'll work. I wonder if they realize that they paid for hop-ups on a bunch of clapped out old American junk.
Well, and think about it. This car was never going to get used again. It was just going to sit.
Right.
Now it's got a new engine. Thank you, Subaru.
I wonder if Subaru has ever bought a small block Ford before.
Probably
I'm
not.
guessing not.
Probably not.
We'd been thinking about this whole thing as Subaru versus Roadkill until we realized, you know what? There needed to be higher stakes. This can also be Freiburger versus Finnegan.
What are the stakes? Like, what happens if we fail?
Subaru wins? I don't know. That's a good point. They challenged us, but where's our incentive, really?
I got it.
What?
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Let's have another competition. You and me.
So, we decided to have a little manscaping competition. Whoever won the most races would get to remove some body hair from the other guy. Freiburger would lose what's left of his dome fuzz, and I would actually lose my beard.
Wait, what's the deal then? So we each race both cars and we time it, and whoever's fastest gets to pick the other guy going full Brazilian, or what?
Our manlyhood was on the line. Our hair was on the line. My wife hadn't seen my chin in over a decade, so pretty much my marriage was on the line if I lost.
Wow, that's gonna be really bad.
No good can come from this.
Great. I guess I need to go practice some barrel racing. What do you want to go in first?
It doesn't matter. Either way, you're losing half the hair on your head. Oh, yeah. Turn on the fan. Still have to start it from the outside of the car. It's been 2 years.
Roadkill.
After a few practice laps in both cars,
This should be violent.
I was feeling pretty good about this.
I predict in a few moments you won't even see the Ranchero because of all the dirt in the air.
Very crunchy. This is ugly. We should just shave his head right now. He's not winning. This isn't really practicing. This is just filling the car up with dirt for the next time I have to be inside of it.
Wow, am I losing this one?
Oh, that was perfect.
I cannot deal with the steering.
Don't change a thing. You're doing amazing.
We could throw the Ranchero around the barrels, what seems like the quick way to get around them. The Legacy, it made big, wide, sweeping turns. It really didn't seem like that thing was going to be fast.
So we've got to figure out what is the fastest way to get this done. And he's going to have his technique and I'm going to have mine. Traction stability off.
What he's done is he's figured out how to turn off all the computer interference in the Subaru. Let's see if it works. No, won't slide. Will not slide.
Even Google couldn't help us defeat the electronic wizardry in the Legacy. We couldn't slide the car around the barrels. Confidence was high.
All right, practice is over. Didn't do us much good. Now we go to the big time.
We were in a bigger rodeo arena, and this thing was going to be a barrel race. Basically, 2 big figure eights in the dirt without hitting anything.
With some nutty obstacles thrown in around the perimeter to make it interesting.
And it's going to be a straight-up timed competition between the Subaru and the Ranchero and between Freiburger and Finnegan.
Oh, hot. How's that air conditioning treating you?
That doesn't suck. That's for sure.
Is that Pam and Tommy Lee?
It's pretty disturbing. Hot dogs.
What is that?
We had all these obstacles set up, and the goal was not to hit them while we were racing, but I think you know as well as I, these things are not going to survive the day.
We didn't want to trash the course right away. We decided the Legacy was probably the safest car to go racing in, so it was up first.
All right. Don't embarrass yourself.
3, 2,
1.
Go, go, go.
As soon as I tried to transfer weight from the rear of the car to the front tires to rotate it around the corner, the fun police kicked in and stopped me. The downside is that the car wouldn't slide. The upside is that it was impossible to crash this thing into the obstacles, and was probably the best way to navigate the course.
Come on, go, 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 go.
56, 57.
You didn't hit anything. We might have to solve that here pretty quickly.
All right. 3, 2, 1,
go.
It's not an aggressive takeoff.
We ended up turning off the traction control, trying to pitch the car sideways a little bit, but the stability control doesn't turn off, and it was just gonna dig in and take us around those barrels.
Oh, going way wide. Oh, does that count? He brushed the pool.
Really, the only complaint is that if you put in too much steering angle, the thing would understeer, but aside from that, it was just grip and go.
A lot of pushing, real aggressive here. Going way outside. All right, what was my time?
I think you should reveal my time first.
I don't want you to cheat.
I'm showing yours to camera right now. I can't cheat.
55.50.
And I still beat you because you ran 56.57.
All right, let's get the ranchero.
Good call. Finnegan, I will say the driving gloves are a stylish touch.
Looking for any advantage I can get.
3, 2, 1. Oh, this could be good. Stop, 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 watch out. Go, 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 go. Oh, you're hitting stuff. Go, go.
You were yelling at me, so I stopped. What are you doing?
Making sure your time's really slow?
Yeah, I think we're starting over.
He's irritable. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's slippery out there. Oh, this could be good. Oh, he's dragging some gator.
All right, I admit I did that on purpose. I have no idea how many laps I've even done.
I don't even know how to score that.
Yeah! I'll admit that once I lost control and ran over all the beer, I just didn't care after that part.
You got to entertain yourself, now it's my turn.
Climb on in, have fun. This is the best day at a rodeo ever.
Finnegan had a little bit too much fun on his first run. He also got a flat tire. Lucky for us, we brought out a set of spares, and they were the leftovers from our Alaska trip, which means a set of all-terrains that were studded for the snow. All of a sudden, we've got a huge advantage.
The irony of buying ice tires for Alaska and never using them and then bolting them onto the Ranchero in Bakersfield to drive on dirt totally not lost on us.
The Subaru went 55-50 with you behind the wheel around this same course. You need to beat that.
To retain your integrity, your pride, the, joie de vivre of this show.
Joie de vivre? I make no promises.
3, 2, 1. I feel good about this. Oh, that was close. There we go. It looks like it hooks pretty good. There we go. Yeah. That looks good. I'm gonna ignore the tire that just flew out of there. That's no real penalty. There we go. He has figured out the track now and the car. Come on. Go. We're winning.
Wow, that was a lot of tank slappers.
Are you ready for this?
55.25 seconds. That is 0.25 quicker than the car with ABS, traction control,
Bluetooth, what satellite, everything.
The key, barefoot.
I lost to Freiburger in the Legacy, spun out the Ranchero, and pretty much the only thing left for me to do was vent my frustration at losing by running over everything left in the arena.
So in the end, Roadkill pulled off a victory. If you count iPhone timing in the middle of a rodeo arena having a whole bunch of fun, a victory. And you know what? We cheated because those studded all-terrains on the Ranchero really hooked up. That thing was fun. For the next challenge, we headed up to Snoqualmie, Washington to Dirtfish Rally School. Dirtfish is located on an old Weyerhaeuser lumber mill property, and they also have a fleet of Subaru WRXs and BRZs.
On a mixture of asphalt and gravel roads, Dirtfish might as well be Subaru's backyard.
We're gonna learn how to drive rally, and then we're gonna do timed shootouts between the Legacy and our 440 powered Mopar.
The General Mayhem.
This is gonna be really good.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yep.
I didn't expect the surface to be this like gravelly and loose.
Yeah, we probably have the wrong tires for this deal.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's gonna be fun losing though.
Double your pleasure. Double your fun.
Why do we have two now?
I don't know. I guess they figured that when we wrap one around a tree, there better be a spare here.
Oh.
Huh.
There's an R. And there's dual exhausts on
Oh,
this.
dude.
V6.
No, flat 6.
Oh, that's right. We're not winning in this.
Oh, there's no chance. I can tell from the entrance road that we're losing this deal, so we might as well drive fast while losing.
All right. I like blue.
All of a sudden, there's two Subarus here. This one is a 3.6 model. It's got 256 horsepower, unlike the other one that we were racing that is 175. So we're gonna race that car.
And we were gonna be racing it with the General Mayhem Charger. General Mayhem is a 68 Dodge Charger that we got as a bare shell. And in episode 23, we put the thing together using some parts out of our old Beater 73 Fury and an engine out of this ludicrous Class A motorhome.
First, we're gonna hang out with Nate from the rally school here, who's gonna show us the track and show us some tips on how to deal with the all-wheel drive. Has anybody come seriously out here with a two-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive deal and tried to race?
Seriously?
Yeah.
No.
So we're really gonna look like idiots here.
Well, you know, something probably 1,000 pounds lighter than that would probably be good.
Nate here is one of the driving instructors at Dirtfish, and so we were gonna hop in with him and learn the course and also pick up some tips on how to rally with all-wheel drive.
This course was epic. It had big sweeping turns for drifting, a slalom section, a water crossing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pretty much every great aspect of a Dukes of Hazzard chase scene.
That's weird, it's letting it rotate a little.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing.
It seemed like a natural setting for the all-wheel drive Legacy and rear-wheel drive Charger to race in, even if the Charger was at a disadvantage.
We're losing by 10 seconds or more.
More than that.
I need to drive it.
Yeah, totally.
Well, we took a test lap in the, 6-cylinder powered Legacy here, which is way more fun than the 4-banger. This car, Nate was actually able to get it to rotate around corners, for a little bit until the computer said, hell no. But this thing is fast, and it is going to wipe the floor with the Charger. Like, this won't even be close.
You know how if you had boobs, you'd never leave the house? If I had this, I'd never leave the property. The guys at Dirtfish really wanted to pull the traction control fuse out of the Legacy, but we thought, no, we need to race it as delivered. And that was really a learning curve, because we had to figure out how to slide the car as much as we could using the stability control. But I thought there was a chance that was going to slow it down around the track and give us the edge.
That's a forest over there. Don't know if you noticed. Oh, this car's so much fun.
The all-wheel drive was amazing because you could get to the apex of a turn and just stand on it and it would pull you through.
There are bushes on the outside, just to let you know that.
But the stability control would only let you slide so much before it started taking power out and applying the ABS to straighten the car up.
Oh, camera guy, look out!
What'd you say?
Off gas.
Oh yeah, I was totally off. I've got it on the wood and it just doesn't go.
No matter how hot I entered a corner, the car wouldn't respond to throttle input until it was squared up and the tires were gripping on the exit.
Oh, come on, go, go, go!
Stay inside on it. Stay inside.
God, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's fun and frustrating at the same time because I can't drive, but I'm having a lot of fun. Wow, that's good. Basically, you can't really go wrong because the car protects you from everything.
It's hard to really screw up in this car.
You seemed like you knew what you were doing.
Ah, that was the car.
But you stand on it because the car doesn't accelerate. It accelerates at its own rate. Yep. I've done a lot of blasting around dirt roads before, but I've never done rally racing, and so this was kind of new to me. There's a little bit of a different line that you have to take, and with the all-wheel drive, wow, that's a big change in what you're used to from driving an old muscle car around.
As long as you don't kill us, this is going to be amazing.
I think it'll be amazing if I do kill us. Okay.
Okay, here we go now. All right, I got it.
Come on.
All right, remember, you're going to go left. 30 seconds in. Doesn't mean much, but there you go. Looking good. Okay, now we get to my favorite part of the course. Oh, camera guy, look out. Hi. Still alive, all right. Sweeping right turn.
Oh, we're dead.
Okay, here we go. Don't kill us. All right. Setting up right and left. Ooh, that was good. All right. Here's your favorite right.
Oh, come on.
Okay, ready, everybody? Now. 3 minutes, 18 seconds.
Okay. And we did that with the air conditioning on.
Yes, we did. All the body panels are intact.
That's a problem. That means I wasn't trying hard enough. I didn't break anything. Now, there we go. One second ahead of me right now. Oh, I was definitely faster than you right here.
I might be a little out of control there.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, 316.89.
Not getting shaved. Not getting shaved. You're all, yeah, 310. I'm like, I got this. And
I
then
know, and
I'm
then
like,
you're just go,
car.
After our first 2 runs in the Subaru, Finnegan tied up the overall challenge for the shaved head. Yep, he ran 3 minutes, 16.89 seconds, and I ran 3 minutes, 18.61 seconds. Next up, the General Mayhem.
The Charger received some pretty significant upgrades for Dirtfish. We got rid of some of the used motorhome parts we originally built the car with and hopped it up with some fresh hardware.
In the makeover, I decided to give it a little more power with an Edelbrock Performer RPM intake and a Holley carb, but the big problem was that the suspension on this car was a disaster. This is about the worst handling car of all time.
Handles really badly.
And I got to fix that here by completely overhauling the suspension. I put Hotchkiss control arms in the front, Hotchkiss shocks, it's got bigger torsion bars on it, and Adco sway bars at both ends.
Not only did the Charger corner, but now we had power steering attached to the bus driver steering wheel.
But this is Roadkill, so we had a problem.
Melted the transshift cable.
Haven't even started racing yet.
Yep.
We've got a broken shifter cable, gas tank leaking, haven't even raced yet, car's already busted. And we think now that it's cooled off enough, we can actually move the shifter enough to get it into A gear, and we'll just leave it in A gear and race the track.
We're going with second gear, you know. It's a roll of dice, first, second, third. We're doing second. We've already raced the Subaru, and now we're gonna hop in, and Finnegan's going first in the Charger.
Still getting in. Still getting in. Like it. I like your confidence. All right, we've got 1 gear, an engine that came out of a motorhome. No shame.
Okay.
I'll try not to kill us.
Whoa! Oh, yeah! Yeah! Dude, this is good! Okay, left. Oh! $337.
Oh my God.
Even if you hadn't looped it, I don't think we would have beat the Subaru, but that was epic.
This car is
full
great.
on epic. Ugh.
This car is great.
I don't think I can beat that. That's just way too good.
That was so much fun. I think I hit the brake pedal twice.
Okay, here's the key. Rally School, 68 Chargers. I'm telling you, sell out every day. There's just no way that can be topped. That was so all hanging out, it's redonk. Man, that was fun. And look at it. Wow. That is proper.
That's the most fun I've ever had on Roadkill.
I'll shave my head, I don't care.
I lived out every Dukes of Hazzard fantasy I ever had as a child at Dirtfish.
We've had a lot of fun making Roadkill, but I gotta tell you, the lap with Finnegan driving, going around the course in the Charger was the best moment ever.
No BS. I drove as if Roscoe P. Coltrane was behind me.
God,
Oh,
by
yeah.
far.
Completely.
Best day at work
That
ever.
was the best passengering at work ever.
When we crossed the finish line, Finnegan had timed out at 3 minutes, 37.05 seconds. And man, it felt fast. I thought I could probably beat that by being just a little bit more cautious.
There goes the hat.
Oh, we're going fast now. Good save.
Anything.
Go straight.
Thanks.
Go left. Go straight. Left-hander. 325. And stop. 330.56.
Oh, I win.
Oh, man. Damn. If I hadn't spun the thing out.
The hat flew off.
It's because you were going really fast.
Finnegan won in the Subaru, and he also won for style points in the Charger, but I won on time. But that's all that matters, because overall, it's now Freiburger 2, Finnegan 1. I might be keeping my hair, what's left of it. In the end, we found out that there is a reason why Subaru dominates in rally, and why they even use them at the school here at Dirtfish. Because that all-wheel drive is virtually impossible to beat. And with the traction control and everything, essentially anybody could hop in the Subaru and run just as quick as we did. But for fun and style, the Charger dominated. I'm going out in the woods in this thing again as soon as I possibly can. Man, that was fun. I still can't get over it.
Challenge number 3 was like Game 7 of the World Series. This is it. We've got to beat Subaru at its own game.
For the next challenge, it is the Urban Apocalypse Road Race. We found this crazy neighborhood at what used to be Georgia Air Force Base, and it is like 2 square miles of absolute, just bleak, abandoned ghost town. Creepy. And we're gonna road race it. That's right, this challenge is wheel to wheel with the Subaru against the Rotsun.
Wow. It looks like there was a nuclear war here. This place is crazy. I need your help getting out of the car.
Oh, that's right.
Thank you.
All right, V6 versus flat 6. And Subaru didn't bring their turbo, but we did.
The Rotsun is our 1971 Datsun 240Z that is stuffed with a Chevy 4.3-liter V6. And what's funny about it is that we turbocharged it using a Ford Powerstroke diesel turbo.
The first thing we had to fix was the broken turbo. So we went straight to the man, Gale Banks of Gale Banks Engineering.
It looks like you've cornered the market on rust here.
Yes.
Yeah. The fact that you're making a diesel turbo work on this V6 is pretty cool.
He showed up with a brand new exhaust housing.
Something a little tighter to get this diesel turbo spun up quicker.
And had that thing running like a champ.
We had blown the engine up the last time you saw this thing on Roadkill. And so we had to completely rebuild it, stuff it back in the car, remount the turbo so that the oil would drain out of it well. And then we took it to the dyno where it made 320 horsepower and 400 pound-feet at the tires. We were ready for the Subaru challenge.
Yeah, $500 car.
Right.
What have I got to lose?
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
And if all else fails, we'll just cheat and drive off-road because Who cares?
That's what we do.
Who cares?
We don't care.
Perfect. We're going to race these two cars side by side through a bunch of backyards and crazy neighborhoods, and we figured that the one car we had that might give the Subaru a run for its money is the Datsun.
It does not handle good. The fuel line is held up with electrical tape. The alignment is jacked. Might not even finish the race. I don't care. I'm going to have fun. Okay.
Not your Datsun.
My Datsun.
Okay, test run?
Yeah.
The first thing we did at the bombed out neighborhood is just hopped in the cars and made sure that we knew the course. The big deal this time is that it is not a time trial. We're gonna go wheel to wheel.
Let's see. Where can I cheat? Here looks good. This place is empty. It looks like the people were just swept away. It's the perfect place for Roadkill, the perfect place for this race, and the perfect place for the Rotsun to show what it can do. I hope I don't end up in the Rotsun, because I have air conditioning and really comfortable suspension right now.
Oh, and my door's flying open, and he went the wrong way.
There's all kinds of shortcuts we could be taking through here. And I know he's thought of them already because he's Slim Shady.
I'm practicing my shortcuts now that he can't see me.
Oh wow, you know what? The Rotsun may be in trouble. This is actually pretty fast.
Oh, the Datsun is way faster. But highly more likely to fall apart. That's bad. This thing might not make it.
It ain't winning.
It's real bad. So we both want the Subaru, right?
I don't want it, but it's gonna win.
The Datsun is kind of your pet.
I really love the Datsun, but I don't like losing. On the pavement, this is a rocket.
So Rochambeau?
You cheated this though.
All right, I'll turn around again.
Shiesty old man.
Don't care.
Losing your hair.
Ready? Best 2 out of 3?
Are you scared you can't win once?
Yeah. Ready?
All right.
2 out of 3?
Yeah. You lose.
Smashed. You lose.
What was this?
Paper.
That looked like you were gonna go scissors, but then you saw my rock.
What's this? Smash! Subaru!
I'll beat you anyway.
How's that beard feeling? Don't get used to it.
You're so old!
You have the big advantage being on the inside.
The only advantage I have is my willingness to force you off the road.
So, you ready to do this?
Let's go.
And in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, he passes me.
Whoa, coming in hot. A lot of drifting. A lot of drifting.
Oh no! Oh, water on the ground. Let me just go ahead and put my wipers on. Jump! In the end, I blasted through our fence first in the Subaru, so Subaru wins, and more importantly, Freiburger wins.
So what happened?
I believe smart people would say I lost.
I thought this thing was slow because it kept on, doing the traction control thing. It hauls on pavement.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
amazing.
This is a fast car. You've scuffed it a little.
I might have scuffed it on the fence. So here's the thing, clear and epic victory on the part of the Subaru, but I think really it's a fail on the Datsun's part more than anything.
The most impressive part about the Rotsun is that it's still in one piece. I didn't expect it to win, but I also didn't expect it to get this far either, so not bad.
After the official competition, I really wanted Finnegan to check out what the Subaru was like, and I wanted to haul in the Datsun, so we did just another fun run, and we agreed this one wasn't really going to count.
Go for it. I'll watch.
I'd already won.
Me and the Datsun, him and the Subaru, and I have a feeling we're going to see same results. Subaru way out front.
3, 2, 1.
Go, car, go.
Wow, this thing's fast.
Uh-oh, I might have blown a tire.
Wow, this thing is fast. I cannot see at all. Oh! Yeah! Oh, that thing is fun. Wow! What happened to him? No, Subaru. Is he okay?
They see me rolling, they hating.
Looking good.
Come on, I'll lean my seat back further. There we go.
Here he comes. Get it. Yeah!
I blew a tire in the first turn and ended up limping the Legacy all the way back to the finish line.
Never give up. Never.
Looks like I'm gonna be losing most of the hair on my face and some of my dignity.
At this point, it's true. Subaru has won the Subaru Roadkill Challenge. We've run the 3 events that they asked us to do, and Subaru dominated at 2 of them, and probably should have beat us at the rodeo as well. But we just couldn't have that, and so we're gonna throw in one more challenge, the Down and Dirty Drag Race.
As a bonus challenge, we decided to have a competition we're a little more familiar with, a drag race. So, we took what was left of Subaru's money and rented out a 15,000-foot airstrip that would have been the perfect place to find out just how fast the Rotsun really is.
Now you're probably asking yourself, where's the Datsun? And I'm ashamed to admit this, but we blew it up again.
This is an exciting time here at Roadkill because this is the last day of our competition versus Subaru. And I'd be even more excited if it weren't for the fact that this engine just expired between the parking lot of the airport and the runway.
Yeah, this car, cursed. It was brutal yesterday, but that was its peak. Cursed.
We suck at this.
We kind of knew we were going to lose some stuff, and so we planned this in order to have a victory. And we thought the Datsun was going to win because it has a lot of power. But then we blew up the engine this morning when the fan belt blew off and nobody knew it. And so now it's down to the Charger and the Ranchero defending our honor.
Oh, I'm gonna go work on a car that might actually run.
We also had some wrenching to do on the Charger because we hadn't replaced the shift cable since it came back from Washington, and so we're gonna do that right here, right now, and then go dominate.
It's only 90 in the desert today, which is refreshing. And if nothing else, I can look forward to having my face awkwardly shaved by an old man. So that'll be fun.
Finally, it was time to drag race. And this is no quarter mile, we're going 2,000 feet. So here's what we've got. The General Mayhem with a worn out old motorhome 440. The brand new Subaru 3.6R with its 256 horsepower. And the Ranchero with a fresh 302, and we really don't know what kind of power it's making, but we're guessing it beats the Subaru anyway. We got 2 V8s against 1 flat 6. This is going our way.
I'll admit, I have not researched the car one bit, so I don't even know where the speed limiter is on this, but we're gonna find it.
We've got Sean, who's our social media guy from work, driving the Ranchero, and we're gonna go heads up.
What are we betting now?
What?
Now what are we betting?
Oh, I see where you're going.
Not going by me.
You're trying to keep facial hair right now.
Whatever. Let's race. Let's just race.
Three, two, one.
This is for sure an unconventional episode of Roadkill. But I gotta admit, it's pretty cool that Subaru are fans of this show.
Obviously, we got big bucks to do some crazy stuff that we've never done before. We fixed up a bunch of our cars on Subaru's dime, which was awesome.
And I'd be totally down if they want a rematch, you know, with a WRX, you know, maybe an STI.
But at the end of the day, we are still Roadkill. We'll be heading back to the junkyard, back to the road trips, and back to the burnouts. I feel that was a highly scientific comparison of apples, oranges, and total pieces of junk.
Those are some good drugs you're on right there.
Everyone watching?
You're rolling, right?
Yep.
We're only doing this once. Go ahead.
We're going straight for the Finnegan. Right there. Yeah.
Is there another chin?
No, you've lost a lot of weight. Looking good.
I have not seen my chin in 15 years.
Give it to the bald guy.
Yeah, go ahead. He's bald and creative. Go ahead.
This time on Roadkill, we took all the gold chain out of the Corvette.
We proved that with the right make under, even a C4 Corvette can look good.
If I wait long enough, I can usually fulfill one of my automotive dreams, and this episode is that. Like 5 years ago, Finnegan's very first story for Hot Rod Magazine was when we took this C4 Corvette and cut the body off of it. We cut 900 pounds off of this thing and proved it would be faster in the autocross, but what I always wanted to do was cage it up and just make it a wicked handling machine. We're finally gonna do it, and Continental Tire hooked us up with a Lingenfelter Corvette so we can have a shootout at the same time.
The backstory on this car is that it's an 85 C4 Corvette that was left for dead in the desert and flooded.
It had that worthless Crossfire 350 V8 in it, but what made this one pretty cool is that it had a manual transmission, which is a 4-speed with a Doug Nash add-on overdrive on the back.
We cut this thing up until it only weighed 2,350 pounds, and it's been sitting ever since.
It got wasted. It got rained down the engine. There was weeds growing through it. Our junk was junk, just turned to dust. And so we took one of our shop guys and set him to stripping every bit of plastic off the car. We gutted this thing all the way down to the bare frame.
So now we're gonna throw a little bit of money and a whole lot of parts we have laying around at this thing to see if we can make it handle just a little bit better.
We're gonna have to do everything to the car. All that's left is the stuff that performs. No more Guido. The old 350 was all seized up, so we pulled that out and we put in a new engine that I had sitting around. The motor here is the Marshmallow Mouse, or the white trash. It's a bone stock Junkyard 91 truck bottom end. It's got some World Products 170cc iron heads on it, Comp Cam's Thumper Cam, and of course the tunnel ram and zoomies. And it made 350 horsepower and 360 pound-feet of torque. It's no fire breather here, but it was sitting around and it was cheap and it's ludicrous, and we're hoping to death that these zoomies actually clear the brake booster. Oh, this zoomie is gonna be a drag. Little Sawzall might fix it. There we go. Like a glove. So EBC Brakes has a pretty good sense of humor because they were willing to help us out with this thing. We actually got sponsorship for this piece of junk. And what's cool is that they're an English company. They make really high-end rotors like this one. And they agree with me that stuff like slotted rotors really doesn't do that much. They put this slot in here because a lot of the aftermarket rotors that just have the dots cut in them will actually groove the pad. And they're like, this is there to keep the pad face flat. This is the standard operating procedure for Roadkill, putting way too nice of parts on way too junky a car. That master cylinder is in good shape. This thing sat outside for so long since we did the original hack that it pretty much just decomposed. Anything plastic on it turned to dust. Okay, ready for the zoomy moment of truth? Oh, fail. Manual booster is all we need. Even on Roadkill, do we want to sacrifice brake performance for having zoomies? Because this is far more critical than brakes. I was really wishy-washy about the headers. First we had the zoomies, which were really cool, but they melted the master cylinder. Then we had the pulling headers that stuck straight up in the air, but those melted the alternator.
This literally says, I'm going to a tractor pull and I borrowed the wheels off my dad's Chevelle.
And ultimately, we just put some short, tight tubes on it and dumped the exhaust straight out the side. I was really starting to fall in love with the overall shape of the Corvette, and I didn't want the visual protrusion of those headers, so this is gonna look much cooler.
Did you just say you fell in love with the shape of a Corvette?
Yeah, but look at it.
This is a new milestone we're hitting right here. However, this is now less Corvette and more
Roadkill.
Yeah. So here's part of our plan. We're trying not to spend a ton of money on this steel. And even though we don't have fenders on it, which means we could have put 12-inch wide wheels on this, we didn't do that. We are going to get rid of our 16 by 8.5 stock wheels and a set of dry rotted BFGs. Those are going to go away. And we had this set of 17 by 9s laying around, which are a ½ inch wider and an inch taller. And we've got a set of 285 4017 Continental Extreme Contact tires. They're wider, they're lower profile, there'll be less sidewall deflection here. This thing should handle a little bit better. But in an effort to save as much weight as we could, we ripped out every ounce of wiring in that Corvette. And we're gonna replace just what we need with a universal switch panel and switches. Because that small block Chevy has a ready-to-run distributor and an alternator. So we just had to pick one of many holes to run this through. There isn't much else on there that needs powering, so other than lights, we don't need a lot of wiring in this car. Fewer things to go wrong. This panel is really nice because we got an open top car here and it's probably going to get rained on. Everything's got a condom on it to keep the moisture out. And it even has circuit breakers. We never have circuit breakers. This is already nicer than almost everything we've ever built. A couple of days into the build, we realized there was no way we were going to get a roll cage built on this car in time to test it.
And so we sent it out to have the tubes bent up by Josh at Lucas Fab in Huntington Beach, and he brought the car back to us unwelded so that we could finish it up. But before we could even get the thing back off our ramp truck, I broke it. Oh, it just stuck. No.
You just broke it?
No, it just stuck on. Try and roll it, it won't roll. Whoops. Yeah, in true Roadkill fashion, I figured the handbrake was gonna work, but when I pulled it, it locked up the rear tires and was not gonna let go. So we had another couple of hours of work to do before we could ever begin to start welding up the roll cage. Look at all this cheating going on with other people working on it. I feel dirty.
Let's be honest, you and I would never have built that cage in 3 days.
I know.
3 weeks, maybe. And it probably would have been crooked.
I wonder if it got impounded. Would we ever get it back? Would it be a fix-it ticket? Would it just be...
Well, we wouldn't get impounded, it'd be a fix-it ticket.
I think it would get impounded.
Every time I've ever got a noise ticket, they never impounded the car, it was just...
Yeah, but...
The only violations we have right now are no fenders, and it'll be too loud. It'll have belts, it'll have lights, it'll have a window.
Did you see I ordered a horn?
It'll have a horn.
I got an air horn.
Nice. Yeah. Turn signals?
Doesn't have turn signals.
Arms. I don't have those. Got a rear view, got a side mirror.
Oh yeah, we're the model of legality.
If you close your eyes, on paper, it's legal. Just tell the officer that. Officer, just close your eyes and let me tell you all the equipment we have.
You know how normally speed stickers make your car go faster? These make your car brake. Ooh, taillights.
Like that?
Yeah.
Like that?
Look at that. That is like the rocket thruster.
You don't need a brake light switch, you just need to touch the wire to something every time you want to drive. Stopping now. That is awesome.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
That is the best part of this car.
How about we make it run? Ready?
Advanced? Or did you just let off?
Okay.
Who wired that?
So, check the firing order.
Yep. It's one off. This is number 1. It's pointed at number 8. Okay, so we just need to rotate everything.
Good to go. It smokes a little. This is one of the better things we've done. As bad as this looks, there's really not that much butchery. We're starting a trend with this. People are gonna do this.
Junk buggies.
No, vet buggies. The vet cart.
We could start a really unsafe racing series with these.
What's unsafe about it?
We need to go around the block. It's working!
How's the power steering?
2 fingers.
Oh man, this thing's gonna be fun. Ah, getting dirt in the eye, how about you?
Wow, the brakes are exceptional.
I bet they are.
Oh my goodness.
Getting dirt in your eye?
Yeah, I can't see. And the brakes want to put me through what would be the windshield if we had one.
That's a good reason not to have one.
Oh wow, it's quick. Definitely quick.
Oh, look at all the smoke.
It needs a little tune-up.
Yeah.
And an alignment. That's good burnout.
5,500.
That's good burnout.
It's kind of loud. You have oil on your face. That's a big oil leak. Look at that.
That was so much fun.
That's like a funeral pyre.
Is there even a gasket in there?
Probably not.
Because your marshmallow white motor is no longer white. After all the cutting, welding, fabricating, wiring, and engine swapping, this car ended up weighing a little over 2,100 pounds and under 2,600 pounds with both Freiburger and I in it.
here's the coolest thing about our job. Not only do we get to build garbage and have fun with it, but we get to influence important people to actually help us out. And we're gonna get to drive this 640 horse brand new Corvette. We got hooked up with this thing from the guys at Continental Tire because Continental's the official tire of Lingenfelter. And of course, we're friends with Mike Copeland over there. So it just all turns into beautiful 640 horsepower goodness. So basically we went through all this just to be able to drive a Lingenfelter Corvette.
Ah, it's totally worth it.
What we need to ask them for is a crate motor.
Oh yeah, because 700 horsepower is really what you want in this.
Yeah, you don't? We're here. Yes.
That's good donuts.
I'll just go ahead and shut the engine off. So the deal on this, nobody would loan us a regular stock Corvette. Imagine that. So I call Lingenfelter, like we need to borrow a Corvette. We're gonna be racing against that, so we want the least power you can make, but Copeland doesn't speak that language. So this thing makes 640. It has an Edelbrock blower on it, 6.5 PSI, Cook's headers, Corsa exhaust, Continental tires, and a Lingenfelter body kit. Other than that, stock.
That doesn't sound stock at all. Okay, so it's got almost twice the horsepower, but weighs about 2,000 pounds more.
Yeah, twice as much horsepower, but I was hoping it was twice the weight so that the power per weight ratio would be the same, but it's not. This still has the advantage on that.
What does this weigh?
I don't know. What's it weigh, 3,600?
I'll tell you after I drive it. I can tell these things.
Okay.
Automatically.
You're gonna sense that? First thing that we needed to do was take some test laps in the brand new C7.
Oh my God, that is good. These are great cars if you can be seen in them. Imagine 30 years from now us cutting one of these apart and roll caging it. That would be good. How roadkill do you feel right now?
Well, we made that amazing thing there.
So this is,
it's osmosis.
we deserve this.
Yeah, we deserve this because we put in the hours on that. That's the way I look at it. All right.
So we have to decide which course we're gonna take.
Dude, this is great.
It might have a little bit of power.
This is great. This is an easy car to drive.
It is designed for people like us who know nothing.
Shifting at 7 grand is awesome.
This thing is bitching. This is
a really great car.
Suit up. I'll ride along and we'll time from inside the car, just like Charger at the rally school.
Suit up for me will consist of just putting a helmet on because I forgot my suit.
You're driving, so I'm gonna have a fire suit.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
We will set the bar with the Lingenfelter.
Okay.
And then shimmy underneath it with our vet.
This is an awesome car. Anyone can get in here, and you can crash this, but it's really difficult. Dude, I twist this knob, one more click and we're dead.
$1:35.65. I have no idea what a good lap is here.
I don't either.
That probably wasn't it.
Nah, there were definitely room for improvement there.
Well, I'd like to say I can improve on that, but I'm not going to say that until I actually drive it.
Oh, I think you can. That was not my finest work.
I need to break out the excuses now. See, he had 6 laps, 5 warm-ups and a race. I'm going to have 2, 1 warm-up and a race.
So that means if I lose, I look even worse. Thanks for throwing that out there.
This ends the whining portion of the program. Ready? Ah, that hurt.
I'm air conditioning my butt right now.
Really? You have seat AC?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that feels good.
How do I air condition my butt? Here we go.
Chevrolet for saving me. I really appreciate all the work you put into the new Corvette. Oh, because David's trying to kill me. Did the tires do something wrong to you? Because you were punishing them. Oh, this is gonna be close. 130. You beat me. 134.50.
Winning! And it was a mess.
I spent most of the time that side just going clink, clink, clink. The Corvette's not built for a helmet. David kicked my butt by half a second in the C7, so we hopped in the go-kart, and on the warm-up lap, I found out just how good those EBC brakes work.
Saw that coming.
That happened fast.
That's just tapping the brakes, right?
Yep. What it is, the go-kart is light, it is nimble, it accelerates good, it turns pretty well, the tires are good. If we had a few more laps or a few more hours or a few more wrenches, this would be a pretty awesome race car.
Slower than the Lingenfelter.
Not bad. I'm a fan.
Really?
I'm totally a fan. This has so much potential.
But the issues are that you tap the brakes and it wants to come around.
You have to completely drive different. You can't barrel into a corner and then lay into the brakes.
I'm sure.
It just wants to spin out.
Yeah,
but
no,
it handles good.
Really?
Yeah, it steers really good. It's really not that loose. It's the perfect amount of power for what it is right now, I think.
Yeah.
Dude, the first couple times around, I was spooked. I was like, this thing's gonna kill me, my arm's gonna come out the side.
Right.
You know, we're gonna flip it. But once you spin it out and you realize it's not tipping over.
Look at all the oil on your helmet.
Yeah, we've got something happening over here.
A hole in the valve cover, maybe?
Yeah, that's just rust prevention, as far as I'm concerned. It's not on the tires, so it's safe.
So, I had confidence in the new Corvette saving me from myself. I don't have that here.
I think your sense of self-preservation will really just kick in.
Yeah, this thing lets me be as stupid as I want to be, and I don't want to be that stupid in it. What's your level of fear right now?
Yeah, I don't trust you. I really don't. So I'm about a 9. Just gonna hold on to these.
You know, the thing is, the whole vet hack idea could be legitimate. Stripping a C4 down to its bare bones and caging it, this thing only weighs 2,100 pounds. You could science out the suspension on this, give it some more horsepower. Imagine a Lingenfelter crate motor in this car. It would destroy all, and it would be an actual threat at a time attack event anyway. So I matched my time, pretty much. Not bad. And I pretty much was in third gear the whole time because I can't shift it.
Yeah. Imagine if you had a shifter.
Wow, I can't get it in any gear.
Maybe that's a sign.
Yeah, really. Oh, we got no clutch.
Oh, maybe that was the fluid. it.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Kill it.
We're done. Bye-bye. Oh, it didn't kill it. Our safety measures failed.
Hold on, I'll get it.
Oh, that's because of this.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Good thing we didn't need that in a hurry. I feel like I could drive the thing better.
Yeah, right?
It's not bad.
No,
You're right. It needs throttle response, and it needs a shifter.
Yeah.
And you could actually be somebody with this.
This is a good piece of machinery right here.
Our day has ended because we have clutch fluid spraying all over us, and I've got no clutch. So I did all of that in third gear and matched my time in the Lingenfelter car. Actually, a second slower. I ran 135 instead of 134.
Oh, you matched my time.
I matched your time in the Lingenfelter.
Yeah, so
we're on to something.
640 horsepower in the Lingenfelter.
Yeah. 300-ish
here. No electronic bells and whistles, just your right and left foot saving you. Okay, so what's that Lingenfelter car probably cost?
Oh, I know.
70K probably?
Yep.
There's 10 grand here.
I just want to do donuts. I'm going to fire it up in gear and do donuts.
And I'd like to personally thank the good folks at Continental for making amazing tires and pretty damn amazing tires, both of which we're going to destroy right now. Okay, it's dead.
Okay.
Another car being pushed.
We broke it after all. No matter how many parts we remove from a vehicle, we can break whatever's left.
Obviously the go-kart can hang with the Lingenfelter car on the pavement, but this is roadkill, so we gotta bring it up a notch.
So we decided to throw a clutch in it, put a windshield in it, and hit the highway.
And go see how well this thing works in the dirt.
Oh yeah, like factory. I don't like intersections because it gives more opportunity for a cop to drive by.
Yeah, what? Should have leaned these seats back.
What?
Yeah.
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 The thing handles good. Traffic. No problem. Right? Oh. Yeah. Smell gas. You smell gas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably check that.
Driving on the highway in this thing is pretty hilarious. I expected everybody to be staring and pointing and cutting us off, but no, this is LA primetime traffic. No one blinked an eye. When we got out to the desert, things were going way too smoothly until Roadkill kicked in. The car sputtered and died, and we pulled over to the side of the road, and it turned out our electric fuel pump was roached.
Maybe we can get a stick or something so you could reach back and just hit it.
It's a great idea. Hit it with a bottle of water. Is it working?
No. Okay.
It's working?
Yep.
Okay.
Bacon?
It's a little dusty. I'm gonna save myself for dinner in Palmdale.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people go there for the food.
This thing is so much like a Baja Bug, it's ridiculous. It's lightweight, it's got independent rear suspension, great flotation because it doesn't weigh anything. The thing just blasted dirt roads, but I had to find out, could it handle a rocky hill climb?
That was cool. Let's see your Lingenfelter Corvette do that right there.
Oh, we failed not bringing it. When we get pulled over and the cop goes, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And they go, "Exhibition of greatness."
Yeah.
Okay.
Gunshots. All right,
All right, time to go. I'd like to see Fred try that one on dirt every day. Honestly, I don't even know why Continental makes off-road tires.
Mark this day in history, boys and girls. This is the first time a Corvette's ever climbed a mountain. Roadkill. This is like a hill with some rocks on it, but
It's okay.
I don't care. Dude, I'm
Don't
taking
care.
it.
Nobody does this. Let's
Yeah.
go. Shifter's overrated. Oh, try to avoid that. It really hurts.
Sorry. You wanted to go off-road?
You don't know Ken Lingenfelter personally and realize that I could have wrecked it and Ken would have said okay. So that's why I drove like an absolute moron.